What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is A2D Wednesday night. Sixers live reactions, Eagles Rams preview. Let's go.
I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio every Wednesday night. We are brought to you by our good friends over at Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed bread, tomato pie sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs, you name it. Mention A2D Radio, get 10% off your order. As always, that's Greg Milakovic. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. We're waiting on some other guys. See if they can make it on tonight. If not, we're here, baby. And we'll give you our score predictions. Eagles, Rams. We'll break it down later on in the show. Give you our players of the game. So stay tuned for that. Sixers got a big homestand coming up. We'll preview it. Not that it matters. Sixers, Grizzlies. Yeah, if it matters. Sixers, Grizzlies live reactions is our main topic at hand. Ties into our poll question. The Sixers must sweep the upcoming homestand to rebound after not only a slow start, but dismal. It's horrendous. Horrendous.
Historically bad.
Train wreck start. All right, how can we rebuild the train that fell off the tracks and rolled down a mountain 10,000 feet? Right? How are we rebuilding that? How are we rebuilding that train? So, do you agree or disagree? Do you agree or disagree? I mean, holy shit. I mean, they don't need to sweep anything right now. They need to just win some games. Let's just win a game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're 2-11. You might be 2-12 after the night. And let's just start winning a couple games, babe. Right before I'm going to disagree because I don't think it makes or breaks their season if they sweep somebody right now. Like I said, they just got to start winning some games.
Yeah, I mean, you were hoping to add tonight's gimme, right? Gimme. Being in Memphis on a back-to-back with no Ja, you thought you could set yourself up to go win that 4 in a row, right? And kind of get yourself back into somewhat middle of the pack, not even standing-wise, but just middle of the pack feeling that this team isn't just an absolute total disaster.
Yeah.
And then we come into tonight. And we look at tonight. So I even think that's even more of desperation on my end, Tommy. And I'm going to agree to the poll. Like you said, you just need to win games. Yes, we need to win a game. We need to win 2 games. We need to win 3 games, right? Like, we know this team on paper was set up to do something we hope to be special, right? This team on paper had what we thought was a championship caliber team. Obviously, whether it totally got there or not is obviously going to be a different conversation. But we thought on paper this was one of the best teams that we've had in the city in a long time. Naturally, it hasn't played out that way. So we need to, at 2-11, close to being 2-12, 5-12 looks a lot better than 4-13, right? Than 3-14. So I'm going to agree. I think we have a homestand at home. I don't believe any back-to-backs. So in theory, Joel should play, right? Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday. There's no reason Joel should not play all 3 of those games against Brooklyn, the Clippers, and Houston, all at home, which brings us to this time next week, right? Friday, Sunday, Wednesday. He should play all those games. We should win all those games. Even with that, Tommy, Brooklyn, Clippers, Houston, we should win regardless of who's on the floor.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe not Houston. They're playing better.
But those other teams aren't good.
No, but we aren't.
And we aren't good, right? Yes.
So we shouldn't beat anybody depending on who's on the floor. We need guys on the floor. And tonight's game 1 of all 3 guys on the court. And PG left in the third quarter here with rolling his ankle. And he hasn't returned. So
tail was all the time.
And it's muted now. So I don't know. I don't know if he's coming back in or it looks like probably not. Unless he comes out for the fourth quarter. So not ideal. Not ideal. But yeah, I mean, like I said, like they can go take 2 out of 3, and it looks. My point is, they can take 2 out of 3, and in that homestand, and take another 2 out of 3, another 2 out of 3, and you can start piling them up, right? So you can pile it up in other ways, right?
Or our next 5. To your point, though, you go 4 out of the next 5, 3 out of the next 5. You have obviously the 3 at home, then you're at Detroit, at Charlotte, before 2 at home against Orlando. One of those must be a tournament game.
Well, Brooklyn is.
Brooklyn is a tournament game?
Yeah, I believe so. 89, 81 Memphis. So not great. Not great. You're going to need a monster fourth quarter. A monster fourth quarter to almost like try to save a season.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that, like, yeah, I know I'm saying that this early in, but early goes out the window when you get off this kind of start. Right? If you're like around 500, you want to talk to me about early, like I'm all there with you. There's early, and then there's like, yo, you started off as the worst team in basketball. So that's not early. That's atrocious. Right?
Absolutely.
Especially when you're over 10 games in. Right? When you're 10 games into it and over it starts to like, okay, your record doesn't say everything, but it starts to matter.
It says enough.
Yeah, Maxey comes in, shoots a 3, doesn't make it, and we're down 9 going into the fourth quarter with no signs of Paul George.
Yeah, and Tommy, traditionally throughout the years, right, we've never really worried about not saying we didn't worry about games this early, but we didn't necessarily worry about games this early in the season because we knew the dog days of the NBA season start after Christmas, right? But that's for a team that starts off normal, right?
Yeah.
It's for a team that starts out, hey, maybe we're a little slow, maybe we're just below 500. That all goes out the window when you're 2-12 or 2-11 or whatever we are, right? 2-11, about to be 2-12.
Like if you're saying you're just figuring it out.
And to our point is these now next 5-6 games, including tonight, now almost become must wins, and we're not even in December yet.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Greg. Right? Like I called a must win last week. I think it was right, and I was like, no, it's that time, and I'm like, yeah, it is because you're getting off to you're literally off the train tracks, and you're falling down a mountain at 10,000 feet. So if you don't find wins as you're going through this, you got to find some.
Yeah,
you got to scrap and claw and get one here and there to stay afloat. You can't get off to a 2-11 start and look me in the face and tell me it's a slow start. Like as a player, you can try to sell yourself on the fact of that. But now you got to go on a run. And not saying that it's not possible, but what I'm watching tonight isn't selling me on that run.
Spot on.
It's not selling me on that run at all. I'm watching a Joel Embiid that, he's scoring his points and like he just looks slow to a point. He looks slow, and I know that comes back with him. He looks better than he did, the first time he was out in the court. So I mean that's good news, right? But and PG goes out. So it's listen. It's hard to get excited. All right, everybody out there. It's hard to want to buy in. Like I want to buy in as a fan all the time when it comes to Sixers.
Absolutely.
I that other night in Orlando might have been the worst third quarter I've ever seen. I think it was Orlando.
No, Miami.
Either way, Orlando was bad too.
But Orlando wasn't much better.
No, Miami was atrocious. Okay, I can't watch that kind of basketball. I mean, that's that basketball back 100 years.
Yeah,
it was like the first time somebody picked up a ball. Like, what are we talking about? And that's what we had to watch. And I can't watch that. I mean, so they need to find a way to win a game tonight.
And like you just said, right? We need to find a way of going to run. How can we expect to look at this team and think at some point during the year that they're going to carve out 8, 9, 10 in a row, right? Or 12 of 15 with what we're watching right now, right? If you can't beat Memphis the second game of a back-to-back without Ja, then there is no way that we can, as fans, expect them to go in as much as homers as we want to be.
Yeah.
That we can expect them to go on an 8-game winning streak at some point during the year, right? A 10-gamer, right? Or a 10 out of 12. with what we're watching right now and the cumulative effort that we're seeing from some guys, there's no way that we can look past 2, 3, 4 games in a row and expect them to try and do something. I feel to your point, I feel weird saying that we need to sweep Brooklyn, Clippers, and the Rockets right now the way we're playing.
I feel weird saying we're going to beat anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I feel weird saying. I mean, I've been able to watch this team plenty, and I don't like what I'm watching. Okay,
Yeah.
now they're down. I mean, come on. I mean, Greg, they're down 14. It's 95-81.
Oh.
So they come out in the fourth quarter, going a 5-0 run to start the fourth quarter. I mean, this is not good enough. And the Sixers get a basket, Drummond with a bucket, down 12. I mean, when I talk about stops, I mean you give up 95 points, and we just started the fourth.
Yeah,
we just started the fourth. I mean, you got to get stops in this. Like, you scored 83. You're on pace scoring wise to be right where you want to be. It's not the scoring when Embiid's in the lineup. You're not going to have scoring issues, right? You're going to have those issues.
We've had them this year.
Yeah, but not with him.
5 or 6 games where we're under 100 points in today's NBA.
Yeah, no, I
got atrocious.
That. But I'm saying with Embiid playing, 100%. You're not going to be under 100 like that.
You shouldn't be, right?
They're not going to be. It's okay. Well, Martin with a 3, down 9 again, but you're not going to get that, Greg. So my point is, like, this is where stops come in. I mean, you got 86 the start of the fourth. You would feel like, all right, 2 minutes in, like it's a game I can win.
Yeah.
Not a game I'm down 9 and I'm begging for a fucking miss. I mean, I'm begging for a fucking miss. I mean, 97 points. 97 points. They're going to score 100. They're going to score 100 with 9 minutes to go in the fourth, probably.
Yeah.
With 9 minutes to go.
Pretty close.
Tyrese, you want to make a goddamn shot tonight? Like, he want to make a shot because he wants to talk about somebody else, and you're coming out 1 for 10.
You can't throw us at 3 for 12, 0 for 6 from 3 after you want to stand up and be a big man. And I love it. Love it. But you then have to have that killer instinct to take over a game then the next time.
Let me get the bucket on cue. Talking shit. I mean, I'm over here running my
mouth.
That's
how we do it. That's how we roll.
That's how we roll. Like, we just giving it to him, and he gives it back. Oh, wide open 3. I'm sure that's good. Nope, finally miss. That's fun. Let's get a bucket. Let's get a bucket. Get down 7. Take it. To
your point, though,
take it. Got it. Tyrese again. I just broke my hand on the microphone. Holy shit.
They're at 102 with 9 minutes in the fourth, right? They're at 102.
Oh, my God, Greg. Can you stop? You're 5 minutes ahead.
Oh, my God. I thought you were there.
No, I guess they just made a 3. So what else is new?
But and what's sad is I don't want to throw all of this on Nick Nurse, right? But Nick, we thought was supposed to be a defensive guy, right? Or at least defensive minded, and our defense throughout this first part of the year has been abysmal. And we can't stop anybody. And when you can't score, you need to be able to stop. And that's obviously not happening.
No. We're not getting much of anything. Period. And again, it doesn't look like Paul George is coming back into this game.
I was trying to check.
Oh my God. We got grown men in the fucking NBA walking. This is what I gotta watch tonight. This is what I gotta turn on my TV. Hey, turn on your TV. This is the product we're putting out. This is the product we're putting out. This is tough to watch. I mean, they got to know. Right? They got to know this is tough to watch.
Yeah, you would think that they have an internal sense that they're abysmal.
I mean, you give them 48% from 3. Yeah. 48%. They just hit another one. This is 105-89. 105-89.
Yep, 48%, and we're shooting 30%.
This is unbelievable.
This is what bugs me about the new era of the NBA, right? Obviously, we can't put the ball in a basket from 3. So why don't we try and get to the hole? Why don't we try and get to the rack, get to the foul line where we have some pretty good free throw shooters? But no, we're just going to sit there and just keep jacking. Because that's what the new NBA is. That's how you win in the NBA is past the 3-point line.
Yeah, I don't even know if we jack too much. compared to other teams. It's just, they put up 39
Yeah, I
threes.
mean, I guess that's fair. We only have 26 to 39.
I mean, they put up 39 threes.
But they're hitting at almost a 50% clip.
Well, exactly. That's why you're down 15.
Right.
Like this ain't, it ain't hard. They're getting up more threes than us, and it is coming to that time when you start thinking tanking. You're not there yet, right?
Capture the flag.
Like Donnie, I could be there in 2.5 weeks, right? Yeah. 2.5 weeks. I could sit here and tell you or say 2 weeks on a Wednesday night. Hey, I think it's time. I mean, Christmas Santa's here. He's in the sleigh. We're at Christmas. Okay, we're there. We're in the month. Time to start playing better basketball. So we're gonna find out if there's any signs of life. We're gonna find out because it ain't up. Obviously, it ain't up to us. It's do they want to figure it out? Can they figure it out? And that's not a foul. Holy shit! We're just letting muggins go on their side of the court.
And I think Ja's not even in the game.
Yeah, nothing to do with Ja. You know what I mean? Nothing to do with him. Look at their shooting from three.
No, I was joking about the mugging in Memphis.
Oh, yeah.
With Ja. Come on.
I didn't really put that together.
Obviously, wasn't good if you didn't catch it.
So. I'm a fan, John. I know you can't. I know it's hard for you, Johnny, to wrap your head around it, but I'm a fan. So I'm invested. I'm invested even when I shouldn't be. Even when I shouldn't be, I'm invested. All right, it's time to maybe move across the bridge, go into Center City, do something different, right? Let's go somewhere else. Wells, that's what we're saying. Wells, there's zero defense. I mean,
yeah,
you might give up 140 tonight at this clip. So I mean, nobody has a palm up.
Oh my god.
What?
No, we're down 19 points.
Oh my god.
They're on a back-to-back too. Like that's supposed to be an easy game in the NBA. The team on a back-to-back is supposed to be an easy game. Without their number one pick, not that he's any good, but without their number one pick and without their star player.
Yeah, every team we play shoots 50% from three. No perimeter defense. None.
And Tommy, how many times have we talked about this over the years? Defense is not a skill.
No, it's a 1-2.
It's a will, right? It's a 1-2. You got to want to be able to play. You got to want to play defense. You just got to be willing.
Yeah. Like
right?
You can't look at the box score.
Willing.
Yeah, you can't look at the box score and say, "Oh, I blame it on this guy. I blame it on this guy. I blame it on this guy. This guy. This guy." I mean, you can sort of tonight when you look at shooting percentages and stuff like that. But with this team, it's not the telling sign of stuff. It doesn't tell you the whole story because there's zero palms up. There's 0-1-2 on that side of the court, and the communication is obviously terrible too. So, I don't want to hear it's fucking early. It's not too early to do. Like if I could move them, I would move. I've said this a lot since the summer. I know I can't, but if I could have, I would. I still would.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta start over.
Involved, but
I gotta start over. Paul George never gonna be healthy. We've seen this goddamn athlete.
We knew it.
Again, it's not his fault.
You just try and sell the dream, right?
Yeah. It's not his fault tonight per se, right? Like you can't help if you're coming down on somebody's foot and you're twisting an ankle. But now, how long is he out for? When do we play again? What's tonight? Thursday, Wednesday. So we don't put a Sunday.
No, Friday. We play Friday.
Where are we at?
Home, Brooklyn.
All right. That's where it starts. Okay, Friday night.
Kitty Cat comes back to play.
He'll be.
We talk Kitty Cat into staying.
Greg, we're not doing this tonight. All right, we're not doing this tonight. Not happen. It's depressing, dude. Anthony, it's so bad, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know what to like. I'm usually the guy who's gonna be like, oh, you know what? Like, there's a chance we're gonna be 2-12 after tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody out there has a glimmer of hope, I need to hear it tonight.
Please.
I need to hear why.
Please.
How does this team figure it out? Because if you tell me when all three play together, I'm going to tell you that doesn't seem like it's going to happen a lot. I maybe I'm a moron. Maybe I don't know. But just the start of this year doesn't smell. I don't get it's Thanksgiving time. You get the good sniffs on Thanksgiving. I don't got the good smell here. All right, when it comes to that, I got a pile of dog shit because I'm not going to get all three when I need them all the time.
Yeah.
So knowing that, where's the glimmer? Where's the hope?
For this team, there is no hope.
Is it playing defense? Like, do we?
Well, that's where it starts.
They figure it out on that side of the court.
That's where it's got to start. Especially when you potentially, again, with Paul George and with Joel playing limited games, like we knew whether it was back-to-backs or not, we knew Joel's schedule was going to be less this year, right? We knew it. So whether Paul George gets injured or not, Joel's missing games, we have to find another way to either score more points or give up less points. And what's the most logical thing with this team is to give up less because we don't have that firepower outside of those two. That's what happens when you pay them the most money.
Well, there's three.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying Maxey's there, yes. But him alone or him with one of the two isn't going to outscore most teams. So we're going to have to play defense. It was what I was saying.
Yeah. You gave the whole we gotta either give up less or score more. Like you gave that, which was
I kind of went a little around.
Yeah, you were giving me the basketball 101. Like, hey, Tom, we just invented the game. I'm going to tell you how it works. All right, I'm going to tell you. Hey,
we put the ball in the hoop more times than the other team.
That's a walk. Now we don't call it. We wanted to call two walks on the other end of the court. This is another reason tonight, too. I don't want to do that. It's another reason officiating in the NBA is so bad.
Horrendous.
So bad. And I'm not a homer when it comes to officiating. I'm just like a consistent guy. Just call it both ways. You want to let a bunch of physical KDs go at it. Let it happen, right? And if you don't, then don't, right? That's how I believe in it. Tonight was absolutely one way in terms of what they allowed. The physicality from one end. So in tonight's defensive effort, I'll say this. They allowed the physicality from Memphis defensively on us, but not so much us on them. If that makes sense, if that's okay to say.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not why we were losing. We would still lose this game anyway. That's not how you work yourself down 19. You work yourself down 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
7 or 8 because you're not calling it. You're not calling it the right way. But that's a walk too. How much can you move? How much can you move the foot? Nick, I was going to bury the 3. If I'm Nick Nurse, I don't know how I'm not getting
teed up. Teed up.
Like I've already been thrown out. Like you would have said, Tom, where were you tonight? Did you show up? I would have been going the second they go on a big run, and it's bad officiating too is a part of it, and we're just obviously not good enough. Is the second part? I'm out of the game.
George won't return due to a left knee hyperextension.
Yep, it was the knee. I thought it was the knee.
2 minutes ago, it was from Keith Pompey.
Yep, these guys are morons too. Abbott, whatever. Albert, I don't give a crap. And Kate Scott telling me it's an ankle. No, it was the kneecap. You saw the kneecap go. The episode's the same knee. This is amazing. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Who's at the curse?
Hey, I will sacrifice the Sixers for an Eagles Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
sacrifice it for how long is the question.
Hey, I don't care.
Okay. I mean, I care. I mean, how long, Greg? You were talking to me about a decade?
But I think there's guys obviously wearing out their welcomes, right? So at some point, this is going to start over. You know what I mean?
Is this the same knee? Can we get confirmation?
I don't know. It could be.
I mean, we don't need him to win if Embiid and Maxey are playing. I don't really. I mean, he won't hurt, right? But I don't need him to win a lot of these games just to get back in the relevancy.
Yeah.
Right. I can go without him for 3 weeks if I got Maxey and Embiid. I won't win games with those guys. At least I should. At least I absolutely should. And Nate, here's my guy. Nate, where'd he go? Where's the comment go? He delete it? What's this guy doing? It does matter. It doesn't, but it does. It doesn't matter.
Generally, yes.
Unless you're off to like a historically bad start.
Which we
like it doesn't matter unless you just want to come out and just, hey, we're just coming out here for cardio tonight. We're
not here tonight.
and the vibe I'm getting from my leader of it all, I don't know. It's early.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
It's early. It doesn't matter. Early doesn't matter. It's about being healthy later. So I've always been the guy who says everybody does what the guy who's a star and has the most money and drives the most expensive car and has a supermodel wife, and guys are going to try to follow that lead of how he goes about his business.
For sure.
So you ask yourself a question tonight when you're sitting wherever you're doing right now. Ask yourself this question: why do you think we're off to a 2-11 start then? I don't know. I'm not blaming it all on him either. I mean, but he hyperextended it. Like I said, it'll be out for fucking 2 months. This is over. I'm disgusted. Like I'm sick to my stomach. Well, yeah. I mean, you're 20 games under, 20 games under. That's tough to get out of. But not really. I mean, you go win 22 in a row. You're sort of feeling better about yourself.
Yeah, it's a little easier. And
same thing. It's unbelievable. Now we're going to get 3D printing on it again. We're going to do the KZ. KZ, get the printer out. Get the printer out. This is unbelievable. We got a fake name. I've never felt this way about a team. I've never had a team where I felt like they drew me back in for some weird reason.
Yeah.
Some weird reason. I was like, oh, yeah. Nope, this is bad. Same needs preseason. Hey, Rich. Everybody's saying it. SGT Bass. Yeah, see you guys. Appreciate you. Same day. So that's a year.
Yeah.
That's a year.
It's definitely through Christmas.
Yeah. Hey, what Sixers fan? What we got for Christmas for you? We got a hyperextended
Paul George back.
Right knee for Paul George. Here you go. That's what's under the present. What else do you have for us? Well, we know Embiid isn't playing back to back, but I'm sure he'll do something to get hurt again. And what else? Well, we can probably write it down that hammy of Maxey circles back. So, I mean, Santa's going to have a lot of gifts for Sixers fans, seems like.
Don't they have a Christmas Day game too? Don't we have a Christmas Day game too?
Where's the foul?
Probably. Boston at 5
down
p.m.
11. Hold on. Down 11. Oh, lock all windows and doors for 5 seconds.
Hold on, Allo. We're coming in for
Can we get a stop? I mean, can we get a stop and get it below double digits? I'll probably bury a 3 at any point.
You think ABC, ESPN's trying to flex that game out of Christmas Day?
That's the biggest goddamn walk I've ever seen from Jared Jackson. I mean, he just did a 360 without dribbling the basketball, Greg. I mean, I watched the 360 app. Well, circle the ball, move the ball movement, need it. Didn't get it. It's over. That was fun for like 5 seconds. Did you feel like we were back in it, guys? Yeah. Everybody out there, did you feel like, oh, look at us. We're back in it. Oh, my goodness. Great time for the Phils to stop in.
Oh, please help us. Drop that bomb. Drop that bomb.
Embiid's hurt. Embiid's hurt.
Is this real life?
No. It's real life. He's hurt. He's done. Same knee. This is me.
Oh my God. My God. That's incredible. That's incredible. Oh my God. Well, maybe capture the flag isn't play now, right? No Paul George, no Joel. I'll tell you what, it would make them a lot more fun to watch because there's no expectation, right? That's what makes this so frustrating and so heartbreaking to watch because we had such huge expectations for this team. And now we're back to the lottery and there's no expectation. And we go capture the flag, baby. Capture the flag. It's easy to get there because we're already the worst team in the league.
Yeah, and I told you this too.
We're already there.
It isn't like you don't have to do a full rebuild because you have a Maxey, you have a McCain, you have some younger guys that can get better. So it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be under construction for that long.
Yep.
Right? You can be a little bit, or I mean, so there's light at the end of the tunnel in terms of that. But is he back out on the court? Yeah, he's back.
Tricked you. There's a date that we can't trade Joel until. So, we can't trade Joel until a certain date. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, and to me, it's not even like I know I said that, but this isn't about trading him right now either. Like, it's not an in-season move you do. That's always an off-season type deal. You're going to get more in the off-season for a guy. You just do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that time of the year. So I don't expect that. And like I said, I mean, I would expect them to still be able to win games. Like, even without Embiid and George, I could still be like, okay, can they go 500? Like, that's what's amazing to me. Is like you couldn't even be around 500 without those guys, which is Maxey, right? Which is Maxey and some of the veteran pieces you had around it. You expected more from a guy like Kelly Oubre. You didn't get it. He was almost been relegated to bench duty.
He's been terrible this year.
Yeah, he hasn't been good enough. And I think a lot of that has to do with being thrown in different roles all the time, too.
Sure.
Again, it doesn't help anybody when you're not in a role, when you're a role player, right? When you're a role player and you're not in a role, it gets hard. It just does. And that's where guys missing games, puts this burden on every other player in a way. But at the end of the day, it's basketball. You know what I mean? It's just basketball. They're going out and they're hooping. So either you're going to hoop better than somebody or you're not. I mean, I don't think they can trade PG at the deadline. I don't know if they're even allowed to do that.
Let me go to the trade deadline.
And do you even want to do that if the guy's hurt anyway? Like, what's the point? You're going to have to absorb somebody else's money.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like we talked about it. Go give me, I'll take the number 1 pick of the draft, but go give me top 5 where I know I'm protected because it's my pick then. Go give me a top 5 pick and I'll be good. Because Darryl Morey's drafted well. So I got to believe that we'll get a good player. And I just need good players with Tyrese Maxey. Because I think his game would be suited for just really good players around him. You know what I mean? Just give me good players. Like I don't necessarily need another star around them. I mean, I'll take it. Oh, come on!
There's the guy.
Come on in with us. Come out and see with us.
Come
tonight.
join us.
This is horrendous. This is. I don't know what to say. Right?
Sorry, I'm late. I thought we were 10:30 tonight again. It's my fault.
No, we're good. We'll be when January, February come. We'll be a little bit later.
Had a little some IM football, some other stuff. You know what I mean?
You're better than watching this match, so you're good.
Yeah.
Down 13. Just not enough defense tonight again. Too many 3 balls. I don't know what it is, Luke. Right? I think we were just talking about. I think a lot of guys, playing different roles, different nights doesn't help either, and probably doesn't help as a coaching staff to clean things up and get it right. Because I want to believe that's not a foul. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what we're calling. That's what we're calling. You should get punched in the face in the parking lot, right, by Nick Nurse, because he should be tired of your antics tonight. I'm sorry. I'm upset. I apologize to everybody out there. We shouldn't be punching anybody in the parking lot. All right. But at the end of the day, I'm not happy. And I'm not happy because of the terrible officiating I watched tonight on this end of the floor when it comes to what Memphis has gotten away with and what we've not gotten away with. There's my rant again. Sorry, Luke. Go ahead. I was just
no, you're good. I was just gonna say, me, I feel like I defend Embiid more than anyone on here all the time. But when something like that comes
maybe
out,
maybe not me.
Yeah, no, I was never in the trade him ever. That's never come out of my mouth. I've never been a believer in that.
Fair.
That's me.
Mine might be
I've
emotional too, by the way.
What?
Mine might be emotional. Yeah. I'm a little bit more emotional than you. I'm not as calculated. Right, so mine could be emotionally driven too at times. But my point is, I'm right with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was just gonna say I am an Embiid guy, and I think a lot of times we don't give him enough. Not it's a bad time to say this, but we don't give him enough credit in terms of not asking out after all this external organizational stuff that he's dealt with. I don't think he gets enough credit for not asking out, which seems like nothing, but I guarantee you 99% of stars in today's NBA on 99% of teams, they would have asked out 10 years ago. So I think him sticking it out and giving the organization another chance after another chance is enough for me to love the guy and his loyalty to the team. Having said all of that, I think what we talked about a lot this summer was a blank canvas and whether or not it was the right move. I was never for it. But at the end of the day, I was still very, very excited about the guys that they brought in. It was hard not to be. Basically, what I'm going with this is that you have a lot of new guys in your locker room. You have a lot of new guys in your organization that you're bringing in, from Paul George all the way down to guys like Reggie Jackson, who barely seem to play except for tonight. You have all these guys that are just rotting on your team coming in as new guys. And when you see a guy, your leader, your top paid player, your franchise guy, the guy who's been there the longest, and he shows up late, just those kinds of little things allows you as the new guy, as the Caleb Martin of the team, or, Paul George, Yabusele, whoever, if you're new, all you're saying is, I can be late. I can show up late. I can do all this. I can do, and it just trickles down and trickles down. And I saw Pat Bev talk about it today. Obviously, he played with Embiid last year.
Hold on. Before you keep going, move your mic off of your collar. Like you're getting a click. Is that right, Greg?
Yeah.
You're getting a click. I don't want. It's too good. It's too good of stuff. You don't want the click. You know what I mean? You want this clip to be clean, baby. You don't want the click.
Yeah, got you. Basically, I'm like, Pat Bev was on the team, and he said, yeah, one night he showed up late and dropped 50 that night. That's just who he is. But Pat Bev, he knows his role on the team. I'm just saying, I think it's time now where fans, including myself, who are even pro Embiid, are taking a step back and saying, like we've asked ourselves the last previous weeks, do we really know who this guy is? We know who the player is. The player will go out, he's spectacular, he'll get hurt, and you got to live with that. But the guy that he is day in, day out in that organization, do we really know who that guy is? Because that's so important, especially when you bring in all these new guys who are trying to find their role, not just on the court, but also in the organization. And when they see your best player doing that, what does that set for the rest of the team? That's kind of where my head's at in terms of looking at a horrible start. That's where you're going to point that to when news like that comes out. That's just me. That's the angle I took.
No, it's not. That's not ideal.
No.
Like we talked about before you came on. Guys follow the leader. Guys follow the guys who drive the most expensive car, live in the biggest house, have a supermodel wife, right? The guys follow that. That being said, but when you bring in new guys, they're going to follow what that guy does. Like that guy sets the tone on you organizationally. And that being said, he dropped 33 tonight. and we're still going, and we're down 6 with a minute left. So, but they go off of him. So you don't know if part of that is, no call, down 4. That's all I'm saying. I got the bag on. Get the bag on, down 4. Does he have to take it off tonight? Does the bag come off tonight?
No, it does not.
I would highly doubt it does.
That's amazing.
Oh
God.
What a joke.
There you go.
I'll call it a comeback.
Capture the flag season. Let's get it. I'm all in. 2-12. That'll do it for me.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
2-12 is
We've had a couple of capture flag references already tonight.
I think
such a
it's
great hashtag. I was such a clutch pull.
They should
Well
call. They should review that. That was a foul. I don't know how they don't review that play.
drag for flag.
How don't they review that play? That's crazy. That's crazy. He pulled him down by his jersey. And don't review that. Under a minute in a 4-point game. I will say this. I like this lineup the best so far tonight on what I watched. McCain, Reggie Jackson, Oubre, Embiid, and
KJ.
Is it KJ? Yeah, it is KJ, actually. I thought they played the best defense so far. So if you want to know who I felt like is the best defensive group, just so we talk about this again down the road, that this five looked the best tonight.
I want more Ricky Council minutes. I've been saying it. The guy deserves to play.
Well, maybe he'll get some
Especially when you're 2-12. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
maybe we'll get some time with Lowry being out now, right? Like,
I mean, what a joke.
I just don't know how they don't review that.
It's those Lowry and Gordon minutes, right? That he's when you're 2-12, you should be giving those minutes away. They shouldn't be to Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon. If you're 12-2, then those go to Eric Gordon and Kyle Lowry, right? But when you're a process level team, you got to see what you have with some of these guys.
Totally.
In real game situation.
They should be reviewing that play. I still can't believe they have not.
Plus, we can, like, not that I know this, obviously, just I have no inside information, of course, but I'm just speculating. It seems pretty interesting to me that Tyrese Maxey even played tonight. It seemed like, because before this, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because before this happened, he was not supposed to play for another week.
It was
and
weeks.
Now, yeah, so now all this bad press comes out. It's like, oh, now he has to play, but like he's only going to play 20 minutes and he'll play 5 minutes in the first quarter. Like, clearly he was not ready to play. They were tired of all the bad press and they trotted him out there.
Yep.
I mean, we're actually talking about a basketball team that's 2-12, like, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's why I can't stand all these people that keep throwing this in my face that basketball doesn't matter until Christmas. It matters when you're 2-12.
Yeah, when you're 2-12.
Like, how many times? Oh, we'll wait till Christmas. It will be 2-26 by Christmas, and it doesn't matter.
I said it before you guys came on. It's like, yeah, if you're 500,
yeah,
it doesn't matter, right? If you're
team,
yeah, if you're in the middle and you're just playing, right? You're playing meh. It doesn't matter till Christmas. But when you're playing you're getting off to a horrific start, it starts to matter. So like Noah laughed at me last week. Like,
I wonder what they do at the deadline, which I know it's crazy to say because it's not for a long time. But I mean, you're 2-12. It's pretty clear that they probably won't be buying, whereas a lot of people think they will be. Like a guy like Caleb Martin, who really hasn't looked that bad out of everything that's going on. I feel like he's looked pretty okay. Like, do you then be like, we need to sell off a Caleb Martin because we can't afford to have him be another year older next year? Not that he's old, and just have him rot in our salary cap again. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know, because
what do they do?
Well, when's the deadline? First off,
February, like, isn't it February? It's around All-Star break.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know because I still believe like when Embiid on the court, like tonight, I still believe that they're gonna
February 6th.
when Maxey's like ready to go, that they're gonna win enough games, Luke. Like with those two guys on the court, I still, even though they're 2-12 right now, and it's terrific.
And I think
Still
the
believe that
play-in's gonna have something to, which it's sad because if they're the 10 seed or the 9 seed, they'd have to win multiple games just to even get in. But
yeah, but they might be in that mix, right?
Right. So are you as an organization playing towards that, or are you saying, okay, we are not good, and clearly we are more than one move away?
Well, I think it's the eye test at that point of the year.
Right.
It's the eye test at that point of the year. Like, okay, are we a team that got ourselves in because we won 15 out of 20? Right? Like, how are we playing going into that? And I think that is a big part of, like I said it earlier on before you guys came on.
Yeah.
Big part of 2-12 is your leader talks about it's all about being healthy for the postseason. So that when you bring in new guys and then he's not playing, George isn't playing, then Maxey's not playing, guys' roles are changing. You can. This doesn't take the smartest basketball guy to figure out how do you get to 2-12. I'll tell you, their defense hasn't been good enough because of the things I just said. When you have interchanging lineups every single night you're out there, and you're playing with somebody different. It's not how it's supposed to be done. It's not pickup ball. And that defensively will show. And it showed because I don't know where we rank defensively, but I got to venture to get to the bottom tier. The bottom tier of the league.
And offensively
our only two
too.
wins. Our only 2 wins this year.
My point is, offensively, we'll win enough with Embiid playing.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. Our only 2 wins this year came in overtime, which is even crazier. We went to overtime with the Charlotte Hornets at home. It's just embarrassing stuff.
That process team took, I believe, 19 games to win a game in regulation. So we're chugging away. We're almost there.
It's so bad. And also, to answer your question, Luke, are they buying or selling? Depends if the Commanders are still playing football and if the New Jersey Devils are playing good hockey. Because if they are, the owners should be nowhere to be found. So they'll just do nothing.
Tom, you're muted.
Yeah, Brian. We appreciate the super chat, brother. Like always, he said, Joel Embiid basketball is so tiring. I can't believe the team I choose to root for employs a 7-foot, 280-pound baby. I mean, that's delusional talk. Yeah, I mean, I love the guy, right? I love the guy, but I've said it again, unless something changes this year, I don't know how you keep running this back.
Well, because now you have another $220 million head next to you too, who that contract will be impossible to move. So if at that point, you have really no choice but to stick it out. Just because the other contract. So where are you going to go from selling Embiid? As long as you have that 220 number tagged to Paul George, you're in a real tough situation, no matter what you get back from Embiid.
You know what the tough situation is? You know what tough situation is? Sorry, Mike. Give me a second here. You know what tough situation is? KZ doesn't listen. You know what I mean? That's a tough situation I'm dealing with tonight. Okay? Because understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, KZ. I'm telling you that when you have different guys playing with different guys night in, night out, night in, night out, and there's no goddamn consistency, KZ. When there's no consistency, how can I even blame that on the coach?
Yeah, you can't.
I'm a headhunter. You understand me? I'm a headhunter in this city, KZ. I always have been. But how would you like me to do that? You got to keep it real. It's the worldwide leader of real talk. I've been saying it for over a decade. So that would be me being just a jackass, typical Philly sports fan that doesn't know the game and just wants to go at the easy target. That's what that becomes. The easy target, drive time radio. I'm the biggest goddamn dryer seat in the country type talk. That's what that talk would be. Okay, so you're the only one who on here who gets me this fired up. I mean, you manage to just give me this chat stuff because you don't listen. No better than what, Brian? I told you I would trade him in the summer, last summer. Not even last summer. It was April.
Yeah, after the playoff series, yeah.
It was April. I said, it's time. It's time. And it hurt me to say it. And maybe it was an emotional decision. I don't know. But I knew with Maxey that I didn't have to, I didn't actually have to go total full rebuild.
Yeah.
Right? Almost like a retool. Semi under construction. We're semi under construction. We'll be back soon. Now I get McCain, who I like a lot, smaller, right? So obviously I need more than just those two guys. But those two younger guys give me hope. Whatever that hope may be, it could be wrong again. Right? It could be wrong again, but at least there's the hope. So if you stink this year and you walk into 1 or 2, hypothetically, or even 3 or 4 or 5, doesn't matter with Daryl Morey, the way he's drafted, you're going to leave that with a really good player, you would feel like. So there's light at the end of the tunnel here. There's some light. All right, take a look. Take a look down there through the tunnel. There's a little light. There's a peekaboo. A peekaboo, Luke. I'm talking about peekaboo. Like a little spat. Like Cass always goes.
I mean, I'm with you a little bit. I'll tell you, just as I just said, I never was trade Embiid ever. And I don't know what you guys said about the news that came out yesterday. That set me completely over the edge because I've been wondering for years why guys like Charles Bassey, Isaiah Joe, Buddy Hield, and all these guys kind of get out and then resurrect their career somewhere else. Well, I'm not saying to pinpoint it completely on this, but it gives me some reason to believe that it might have a little bit to do with the fact that your superstar, paid the most player on the team, the guy, the face of your organization shows up late and doesn't really care throughout the week. Might have something to do with it. So,
Look,
I've been wondering that forever.
This. And we've heard this about ego and about some of this other stuff. It's been
but when it comes from the mouth of another player, that's when I'm like, okay, that is because it could be whispers here and there. Like, you don't really know where they come from. It could be like a reporter you pissed off. No one really knows. When it comes from a guy like that, I don't care how over exaggerated they might have, played it out to be as it went on. That is a big deal.
Well, do you think it's something that's happened for a while, guys, or do you think it's something that
totally? There's no way people are like, oh, it's the money. No, it's not the money. There's no way it's the money. Although we wouldn't have been at the same barrier every single year if it was the money. No, this guy every year, just like we say, he shows up every single time off an injury or whatever it might be. He looks like shit every single time, and people are surprised. No, there's consistencies without this. This is the worst start we've had, but there are definitely constants and consistencies and overlapping trends that have gone on to start this season. At some point,
what's the biggest trend that's happened over the last 5 years? I'll tell you. This team continues to go this way.
Yeah.
Right. So to your point, I mean, you're nailing it because this is all stuff we've talked about for years is how does your goddamn leader go about their business? When you talk about 2017 Eagles, you heard about the race to get into the building. You heard the race between Carson, Nelson Aguilar. Guys were trying to step up their game because this guy was in there. They were saying he's in there at 4:45. How did I get there? Did he even go home? You know what I mean? Maybe he didn't go home. So my point is look at the start that team got off to. This isn't hard to figure out. That at this level, the talent's off the charts. So what does your locker room consist of? What is your leader like?
I want to answer this pumper
There's a reason there's dynasties in the NBA more than any sport.
Yeah.
In reality. There's dynasties in other sports, so I'll retract that. But my point is, but you get where I'm going. It seems like there's more.
No, there definitely is more.
There's more.
There is more.
Because that leader, when there's 4 other guys playing with you, you have a bigger impact on those guys than you do a 52.
Totally.
You have a bigger impact in the day-to-day. It's a smaller roster. It's a closer knit. This guy's over there jerking off, doing whatever the hell he's doing. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Get him out today. Get him out today. Figure out a way, Daryl. Get him out today. Because now everything that I've preached about for years is happening right in front of my face. And I want to get 6th and midnight off at 33 and another loss. We can still, you know what I mean? Think about what we can still do. There's a lot we can do. We're going to go on a little run. I'm over it. I've had enough. I don't know why I keep falling back into it why I get sold year in and year out on a product that is going south, because my leader don't want it like I need my leaders to want it. And I never question him one to play, because he always does. I never question that, and I'll stand by that. Okay. But that is because of ego reasons.
Yeah.
Now we sort of know what it is. Now we know. We finger pointed. Hey, finger on the pulse. We got a finger right here. Hey, where's your finger, Tom? Where's your finger? It's on the pulse. Because Joel don't got one. That damn. I always said, if you gave me some of these guys' talents, I'd be MJ on steroids with the 1-2. With the 1-2. I don't understand how you don't get to that level and with that kind of skill and not want to own the world. Like, I don't understand. I don't want to be Sean Kemp, Rainmaker type, grabbing my junk when I dunk on you. I want to be that over the top aggressive with everything I do. I want you to know you're playing against me nightly, and I'm bigger, stronger, faster. I'm dropping 45 on you nightly. And bigger than all the numbers, I want to win 1 million of them. And that starts with everything else off the court. It doesn't start what you do on a Wednesday night with 7 o'clock when the tip-off happens. No, that shit starts how you go about your business.
Yep.
Because everybody's watching you. Yeah, at the lowest levels in sports, the end of my rant right here, in the lowest levels of sports, kids watch what the best guy does.
Yeah.
So you're going to tell me that the highest, the same thing ain't happening? Because they want to copy it. Oh, you don't work hard? You know, I had a kid when my groups were younger, right, that would outwork the country. He just wanted it more than everybody else. We won a lot of games. And we might not have been as good as everybody, but we won a lot of games. Because other kids at 10 and 11 years old started being like, oh, that's what it takes to go 4 for 4. Oh, I can put a little extra time in. I'm going to want it more. Oh, that's what it takes to get to 35? He don't even got to come to meetings? Or he can be late? He can do whatever he wants? Oh, that's what it takes. Oh, it's easy here. This is where I want to be. I don't got to do nothing.
I got a couple things.
Fired up. I can flip out tonight. I don't even want to do this. I want to go to bed and I can flip out. This is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. We're NBA guys. Sorry, Greg. Get out of the. Hold on a sec, guys. Give me a sec. Greg, get out of here. We're Sixers guys here. All right? We're Sixers guys.
So Pumper said that Bane hit a 3, pointed his fingers like a gun towards him. Not one Sixer stepped up. First of all, Caleb Martin literally got a technical. They got a double technical, which is the most irrelevant thing in basketball. So that's probably why you missed it, because nothing happens. They offset. But they got a double technical. He played well tonight because, like Tom alluded to earlier, it's the first time where a role player had a role. This was his role. He was supposed to play with stars that could score, and he could just focus on playing defense. I thought he was fantastic tonight. Him and Council hustled. They crashed the glass. They played good defense, and he did get in the face of Bane. So to that point, I don't know if you missed that, but he definitely got a technical. Number 2 is a couple of weeks ago, I said that nobody would want anything for Embiid. And we got in a whole debacle about it. And we were talking about Hartenstein and first-round picks. I'm here to tell you, especially with that report coming out that he's late and this and that, you're getting nothing for this guy. And you're getting nothing for Paul George. So the light at the end of the tunnel, it is a spec. Because as good as McCain and Maxey are, you're now going to waste their talents. Because you can't move off Embiid and you can't move off George. You're getting nothing for them. Who is going to take on that contract, and what are you getting in return? Even if you don't get better from getting rid of them, there's no one you're going to get in return. Yeah, nobody wants this guy.
But you're going to get better by accident, though, in that situation, right? You're going to get better by accident because Embiid will still play 50 games a year. Hear me out on this. Paul George will still play 45 games a year, right? And Maxey McCain and your draft pick are just going to keep getting better. So you're going to accidentally get better by that, just because those younger guys are getting better. But to your point, yes, if you have nothing in your pipeline on your roster, then that's the recipe for disaster, right? The only saving grace is you have 2 up-and-coming young guys that we really like. Doesn't mean they're franchise stars or anything like that. 2 really good young basketball players that we think have a lot of upside. Well, you go get the 1 or 2 pick, you're feeling that way again. So that's where I keep saying that light at the end of the tunnel where it looks George Embiid looks, that light still, there's still some, you can still see it down the tunnel. Luke, take a look. It's there because those two kids can play.
I think the aspect of getting rid of Paul George is so underrated because not only you're going to have to work your ass off to get rid of him, you're going to have to, find someone to want him and his contract. You are going to have to give up assets just to get rid of him, similar to how we did with Al Horford all those years ago, which now it's biting us in the ass because our pick would be unprotected otherwise. But that just goes back to my point. They're going to have to give up assets in the future that affect that future just to get off of this horrific contract. Because let me tell you, there have been some bad contracts in the NBA. This could potentially be the worst one. $220 million for a guy who, when he shows on the court, is fine. But in a salary cap driven league that is so strict on salary cap, you have to cement to yourself every day as a general manager, I have to pay this guy $45 million or more every single year for the next 3 years. Like, it's going to take a lot to get off of him. It's going to take a lot.
You got to give people up. No one's just going to take Paul George. You got to get rid of some of these guys. If Yabusele continues to get better, you're getting rid of him. He's not staying. If McCain, he's 20 years old. I'm just scared because when Maxey and McCain, they're going to be ready to win in 3 or 4 years. If they're not, McCain looks like a beast. And in 3 or 4 years.
But you made your point.
You're in hell. You're in hell.
They won't be in 3 or 4 years. No, they won't.
Embiid's here for what, 5? So is George.
No. Okay. In 3 or 4 years, they're ready to win. You're absolutely being able to get off that contract with a year left on it.
Yeah, well, he's a 4-year contract. So after this year, it's 3 years. Paul George.
To your point, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying that we're acting like those guys at the end of their deals don't give you anything. Yeah, they're eating up money, but then if you continue to draft well, and you have a year or two where you're, let's say, lottery, hypothetically, right? If you mix in something over the next 4 years, 2 of them in your lottery, you're going to accidentally get better too. So you don't really need this space. You need to develop the young players you have right now, right? Yabusele, Maxey.
He's gone. He's gone. They can't afford him. He's gone. He's on a 1-year deal, and because that they're in the second apron almost, they can't afford anyone but a minimum. And if he keeps playing this way, there's no shot he comes back on a minimum contract. There's no way. So he's good as gone. All those, like Drummond might be back here because he is an option. Eric Gordon might be back here because he is an option. Like, all these guys are just like, they're just going to be here. And you got to find ways to get off of them.
Let's do this. Before we talk about finding ways to get off of them, they're 2-12. It's abysmal. But let's talk about dealing them in a month and a half.
Well, I just want to make this rule now because I want this to be talked about November, December, all the way up to February.
What rule?
They are this bad now. There is no way in hell, I don't care how good they play up to this point till then, that you can trade that Clippers pick. There is no way. That is as untouchable as anything on your team.
Oh, no, you're spot on.
That cannot go for anybody. Because a lot of people are flexing that out.
Let's be clear here. We're not in any talks here, no matter how good they're playing, if they are, right? That we're talking about going all in any other way. Like, we're as in as we're going to get. So this group as assembled is going to figure it out, or they're not.
Yeah.
Or they're not. And then another year of you hope a Maxey development, and McCain gets better in year 2, and you get enough production out of your 2 highest paid guys that they give you enough, because you got to hope Maxey turns into what you're paying him to turn into.
Yeah.
Because that could change the whole conversation. Right? The whole conversation can be different if that dude's off the charts. Right? If that dude's off the charts and all you need is 15, 18 a night from Paul George and 22 a night from Embiid, like, yeah, okay. Right? Because if your star changes, though, Luke, the culture changes too. Right? So if Maxey can turn into your star, then the culture of your team will change.
I'm just saying, we got Ben Simmons on a in-season tournament, NBA Cup, Wells Fargo Center floor on Friday. I'm back. Let's go.
You're back.
I'm back. At least
So
for that game.
So you two guys that joined, do they sweep the homestand?
Oh my god.
Agree or disagree?
Oh my god. I
The
didn't even go back
Nets,
to
the
the poll, Greg,
Clippers,
But
because
they
and
need
the
to sweep
Rockets.
the Wells Fargo Center and help out these overnight guys that are changing the floors from the Flyers and Sixers to watch the slop. That's what they need to sweep. They need to help sweep these floors.
clean it up.
Yeah, there's no shot they win all three. There's no shot. They are 8-point favorites though on
They're
Friday.
Stop
5-point
it, Greg.
favorites
Can we
tonight.
stop with the 3 in a row? Like, can we get a win?
Yeah,
Like,
there's
I
no
can't even
chance.
talk- I can't even talk about
There's going to be no better chance this year to win 3 in a row. No back-to-backs.
All right.
Joel should play every
All right,
game.
if they win 3 in a row, you guys back?
I'm back.
All right. I would be. 3 in a row would be like, what?
You'd be
Yeah.
all jacked up
I'll
if
do
they
an
won 3 in
emergency
a row.
show. We're gonna
Yeah.
do an emergency pod tonight just to talk about how back we are.
I mean, we just lost to a team that had no Marcus Smart, no Zach Edey, no John Morant,
On a
Yeah.
back-to-back.
and they were on a back-to-back. Correct. It's embarrassing.
No,
It's awful. And I keep seeing what's his face keeps talking about the guns. Brian Pumper keeps talking about the guns being pointed. He was pointing to Morant because that's Morant's thing. They were on the bench. That's just their celebration.
He was
Caleb
pointing
Martin
to
just
Caleb.
happened to be in the way. He wasn't pointing to Caleb Martin.
It felt like he was pointing Caleb to me.
Yeah,
That was a straight trigger down the line. There was
he was
no,
staring straight at the bench, and John Morant standing there. Like
I'm
this,
going to need confirmation tomorrow when I see you on that because that's
I
not what I
promise.
saw.
I promise.
No,
John
no.
Morant, watch it again. John Morant standing on the sidelines, double. And I'm not saying it's right, but that's their selling.
Yeah, we're double fisting. Now John double fisting. Hey, you know what I mean? I went and bought my kid one of those like little NBA things. And of course, it's like you don't know what you're getting in there, and I get shot. And I'm like, this is what I got to do. I got you bringing the gun in the house. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about here. What are we talking about? I'm trying to raise a kid here. Hey, my first NBA guy, Ja. And I love Ja as a player. Like, I think Ja is sensational. I would have traded Embiid for him during the gun charges. I would have made the trade right then. Because then listen. I can win with that. I need a guy that needs to know how to fight through it a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to change a coach.
His big problem is just being a leader. That's Embiid's problem. He's not a leader to his teammates.
Well, this goes
Forget
to
the-
Slayer. Yeah. Read it off.
Like-
Read off what Slayer said. $10 super chat. Read it off.
He said, I think he cared at one point. I just don't know when the mindset changed. As Mike said, this was the guy that came out and talked trash versus the other star, and he cried at the end of Toronto Game 7.
Well, I don't have a problem with the crying. It's
That was
That-
yeah, I don't care about that.
Let's
But-
get
No,
on
I
the
think
guy.
I think he was putting
cry
that in
over
there
less.
as a point of
Right.
Joel caring, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and
Yeah.
and it meaning
Okay.
something.
I don't think he
And-
doesn't care.
And I wonder too how much, and I'm not absolving Joe of any of this because you're a grown ass man, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I wonder how much this is on the organization too, because we know that they have a history of treating him with kid gloves, right?
Yeah.
And at what point did that either stop or continue to the point where now we're starting to get resistance from guys, and we've heard rumblings before. We just always thought it was somebody else.
And you know why he gets
Stop. Would you
No, what-
stop it tonight? No, this is
What?
not going to be allowed. Greg's not going to do this narrative, goddamn, tonight. That you're going to try to spin this around. Here you go. Put on a
I'm
dog
with
pony
him.
shirt
How
and
could
like,
you not
no,
be?
it was Ben.
The organization has a history of
So-
treating him.
How
So
could
it
you
was
not
Ben?
be with him?
No,
Yeah.
No. So it wasn't Ben. That's what Greg's trying to say.
Oh,
It
no,
wasn't
no,
Ben.
no.
It could have
Oh,
been
I
that,
heard the slip in. I knew what you said at the end. Don't you run from what you said at the
but
end.
it could have also been Joel.
No, but you said, oh, it might not have been the guy we thought it was.
It might not be the
I
guy
know
we
what
thought
you-
about.
I knew you. I knew you,
Let's
and I love it.
bring it back and see what happens.
You know what's funny though is I thought like 10 minutes ago I thought about that. I'm like, maybe it was. Like, you know what I mean? In my head, I was like, maybe it wasn't. I'm glad I'm not the one who said it out loud. Oh my goodness, that
I'll
kid.
be
No,
that
it
guy.
was Ben.
Yeah, he's meow meow. I mean, he is.
No,
he is a
100%
big
there,
guy.
but you continue though with the kid
Sorry.
gloves and how much does that
Uh.
affect what he is now?
Totally.
Because he might think, oh, I've done it my whole career, I can do it now, and now you got other guys that are going to step up and say something to you, which
And notice how in today's NBA, like if someone's not getting paid, you'll hear about it. You'll hear about Steph Curry getting paid like 2 summers in advance. Like it's just the way of the world. That has never, ever, ever in Joel Embiid's career ever been discussed as a problem or anything. They paid him early every single, like the coddling and the whatever, like that is definitely a serious thing.
Okay,
And it
but
starts with him. It starts
can
with
we-
him.
Maybe
No
is
doubt.
this overblown now? Like, do you think this report is, like I said, overblown into this season?
You know why it's not? Because you can see when he's playing, he doesn't care. And what I mean by this,
Well,
it's
this
always
season,
moping.
I said this season, though.
Well, even
No.
dating back to last season, he's always moping. When's the
So you
last
feel
time
like
you saw
he's
him
been-
fired up, getting into someone's face, or urging the crowd to boo him, putting his
So
hand to his ear? He used to do all these antics.
So it's
And
going
now he
harder.
just throws his hands up in the air and does nothing. He complains about everything. He walks back to the floor. He doesn't
I
run
know
back
who
on defense.
I know who this is on. When you surround the guy with two pussycats, right? Two big parts of his career, and Ben Simmons and three pussycats. Sorry, let me continue. Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Tobias Harris, and
Elton Brand.
Yeah, but how about this? Those were the best teams he ever had. He'll never have a better team. They had the most success with Ben Simmons. Trae Young was 2 for 11 in Game 7. And that dunk gets so blown out of proportion. I hate Ben Simmons. It was time for him to go. But that dunk meant nothing. The game was tied still in Game 7, and you lost 3 games on your home floor. And you blew a 26-point lead because Ben Simmons and Dwight Howard were on the court at the same time. Ben Simmons had Trae Young to 2 of 11 from 3 Game 7. It was Kevin Huerter giving Seth Curry buckets, scoring 27, and Doc Rivers made no adjustment. Like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, as frustrating as it was, that was the greatest team in the Embiid era you'll ever see.
Nah,
that's it.
this
is the beginning of the end.
That's a lie because
it's a fact.
It's only
a
fact in your
games.
head. No, it's only a fact in your head because the expectations weren't as high. That's why that team in your head,
the wins were high.
Because it was a regular season, type team. Because you're freaking power forward, you're gonna tell me a dunk doesn't matter from a 6'10" guy going down the lane who wants to pass to a guy who can't hit a freaking free throw.
I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying it was right, but the game was tied.
You essentially said that it gets
we point the finger at that play for the entire series, and it's wrong.
Well, because that play changed the series.
It didn't. The game was tied.
Well, he was unplayable at the entire, like, that was totally.
Yeah, it changed his career, and was it time for him to go? Absolutely.
He was the difference
he didn't
in
lose that series.
Yeah, he totally
Tell
did.
me when you got
he
a
totally
guy off
it.
on the offensive end of the court.
He couldn't even play. He couldn't be on the court. Yeah,
Danny Green missed Game 7, and Kevin Huerter went nuts. No, I'm serious. Kevin Huerter, he had 27 in Game 7, and Seth Curry was guarding him, and Doc Rivers made 0 adjustment because Seth Curry was sleeping with his daughter. That's what it was.
That wasn't the best team.
Or whatever it was. Yeah, I'm just saying.
No, you're not wrong.
No, I'm just saying. Seth Curry's sleeping with Doc Rivers' daughter, so Doc Rivers plays him all this time, and then he gets buckets on, and we couldn't play defense. We still lost by 3. I'm just saying. I wasn't a Ben guy.
The best team was with Butler. The best team was with Butler.
That was our best chance. That was our best chance for sure. But who was on that team? Ben Simmons.
No, stop. It wasn't about Ben.
I'm just saying he was on the team.
Why are we doing this tonight? Like, what are we doing?
Because all I'm saying is it's just sad. Like, we always point back to, like, oh, it was his fault. This guy's
because he's a pussycat. What are we doing?
I'm with you, but they're gone.
No,
we're 2-12. They're gone.
Wasn't the topic of conversation tonight, though. The topic of conversation is why. What happened to our star? The only reason I said, look who he was surrounded by. He's surrounded by a pussycat, and then he was surrounded by another guy who wants to live in the strip club. So great guys to be around. 2 guys that sure know how to win. There's only one guy he was ever surrounded by that actually had a sack.
But you said it yourself, though. You said it yourself. We just talked about that Boston series. James Harden had like 40 Game 1 to hit the game winner. James Harden won you 2 games that series.
No, I can't. I hate that argument. I hate that.
It's not an argument. He won. James Harden won.
Yeah, but he also didn't show up for the rest of them. So it's like, what standard do you hold? What? Yeah, he didn't. But I'm saying, like, the Harden standard. I'm not holding it up to him either.
But Harden won you 2 games in a Boston series. How many did Embiid win you? 0.
He also lost 2 games too.
Yeah, but Maxey won you the other one.
And he lost the 2 biggest games in 6 and 7. That sent you home.
So did Embiid. So I just hate pointing the finger. Like,
totally.
You're looking at the problem. The common denominator of all these teams is Joel Embiid. It's the only common denominator.
I have a sad thing to say because this is definitely a hot take. I think the best team he's ever been on is the team that he's playing on right now.
On paper,
I'll leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. That's how disappointing this is.
We talked about that in the opening.
That's just how disappointing this is. And that might be a hot take because
that's why it's most important. That's why it's most disappointing.
Yeah.
It's because the expectations that we had on paper with this team being as top to bottom as we thought was complete.
It's like if you go to all these NBA guys who are watching the NBA more than anybody, beat reporters or whatever, and former NBA players, the problem is never they're not good enough here. I couldn't tell you what we need, what the thing is that we need on this team that brings us from horrible to good. Like, no, like this team is good depth wise and on paper wise. 2-12 is like insanely embarrassing on this team.
They're the Philadelphia Pen Pals. They look great on paper. In person, you'll never even see them. They disappear.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one before.
Hey, I love the Pen Pals.
I like that.
The Philadelphia Pen Pals.
Philadelphia Pen Pals.
I'm dying. Pen Pals. Oh,
they look great on paper.
That's a filter. That's a filter. Hey, Philadelphia filters.
Looking for them in person, they're nowhere to be found. They disappear.
You guys meet the Philly filters before? It looks nothing like she looked the other night. James, it's bad, brother. It's so bad. We're talking about the Hawks series.
Thank you, James.
Oh God, it's tough out here. It is tough. D Slayer. Actually, the series before was Washington. Really exposed Ben with the Wizards playing Hack-a-Ben. Yup, Hack-a-Ben strategy that broke Ben mentally leading up to the Atlanta series. You're right, Slayer. You're right. It was a trickle down, but fuck Ben. Excuse my language, but screw him. And we just got to find ways to win a couple games, right? Like we talk about this in every sport. Like winning cures a lot of things. It just does. Naturally cures it. It brings guys closer together. You know, if you can go, I'm not saying they're doing this, but if you can go just win 3 out of 5, right? You can just start by trying to win 3 out of 5. I bet you there'll be a better vibe going around the team. But when you start off like this is the type of stuff. Now, I wouldn't put it past. We'll wait and see what is said about all this, right? I'll leave this conversation to you guys afterwards if you want to talk more about it. But I had enough after this. But this whole report that came out, okay, there's a certain guy that is beat reporting for this basketball team that I would not be shocked if he threw this out there. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
I have a theory about that.
There's a guy with a gripe. There's a gripe here. There's a guy with a gripe.
Yeah. It's very possible that you're right.
Well, it's either that or a player ratted it out because they're.
I was gonna say because if you go back and this is kind of like people just overlooked that this even happened. They asked him about Joel about the meeting because how it came out at first is Nick Nurse was late to the media session.
Yeah.
So he said, sorry, we had a little team meeting. Then they asked Joel about the team meeting before anything got released or anything. And he kind of played off. He's like, oh, like we had a meeting. Like I had no idea. And so I think a slight part of me believes that a guy like Nick Nurse or someone like that sees something like that and is like, oh, you're going to react that way? Okay. Let's have other people find out what just happened. Yeah. And now he's dropping 30. Like, just saying.
When they cut to the game, like after that game, who was it, Miami? Embiid was sitting on the bench with Lowry. The whole team walked into the locker room, and Embiid was on the end of the bench with Lowry, and Lowry was giving him an earful, and Embiid had his arms in the air like, what the heck? And then I forced myself, my eyes almost bled to watch the post-game live with Jim Lynam. Well, the Sixers aim. I had to watch that post-game show. But with Mark Jackson, it was terrible. And I sat there just waiting because I wanted to hear what Nick Nurse had to say, and he never showed up. And that's the reason why.
I'll say the easiest thing for me in this is I'll wait to find out how true it is. And I won't I'll try not to overreact. I already did once tonight. I'll try not to overreact to it until I hear from the player. And that player would be Tyrese Maxey. So if he's the one who said it, I need him to, if he confirms that, then
no, he said it. He just said that we're boys and there were other things said that weren't, out toward the media in the meeting. There were other guys that got talking to or whatever. And obviously that's the loudest one, of course.
Well, that I think is the one to me. That's the biggest thing that got blown out of proportion was.
I think he's saying I need him here. Sorry, Greg.
Well, yeah. I think it's kind of where I'm going is the notion that they hate each other, right? Because Lou Will came out today and we're like, oh, I was on the phone. They were joking. Like you've never yelled at your brother or your best friend and
this is what it's about, though.
Then you go out and have a beer with them. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
think about it from this angle. No, from this angle,
like
locker
room does.
Well, you're a younger player and you have the want to and the relationship to say, hey, I can say this.
Yeah.
Like, I can say this. Our relationship's that close where I can call him out in the meeting and he's not going to take it personal on me. Right? Which we didn't hear any reports that it was like physical or any of that happened, right?
The quote literally said it started out with "I love you."
Yeah.
But that's what
Need
it
you.
like. Come on, yeah. Like
And
whoever's
guess
saying
what,
that
Luke?
is
Luke,
wrong.
that's why I really feel like it's a this year problem. And I'll tell you why I feel like it's a this year problem. More than any other year, this organization set the table up that we were load managing from the beginning, and the beginning of the year didn't matter. That's pretty much what they're telling us. They told us the beginning of the season does not matter. You want to know why you're 2-12? Because organizationally, you said it doesn't matter. So I'm sure he's late to stuff. I'm sure some of it probably has to do with him being late to treatments, right? I'm sure it starts with being late at the beginning of your day than it necessarily means being late for the meeting. Make sense? You're late for something before that. So, I don't think this is like a year, this was happening for 4 years now, right? I just don't, it would have came to light by now. It would have.
Well,
There's so
Pat
many
Bev
guys.
said today, he openly says, like, yeah, like I said earlier,
He's a
he
loser.
showed up late and dropped 50. Like he used to do that all the time.
Another problem is the only thing
I
that
went to the
makes me
finals
believe-
with a guy who didn't practice. So this is what we're doing. Look,
Yeah.
if
No,
you
I'm
think
just
about it,
saying.
I'm
I'm
giving
just-
the other argument. Like, this is what we're doing to a guy, right? Like, think about this. We let a guy do whatever he wanted in the city because he played hard, right? Did whatever he wanted. Practice didn't matter. He talked about it not mattering.
because he
Right?
played hard.
Because for a 7-foot guy, he's always played hard. I would say for 95% of his career, I feel like he's played hard.
He had
They're not going
15
to.
free throws.
You're saying the guy played hard because he's 5'7". That's why he looks like he played harder because of the size differential. We can't say one guy doesn't play hard because he's 7 foot. He's bigger than everybody. It's going to look like he's not going as hard as the little go-go gadget flying around like because the 5'7". It's going to look faster. It's going to look
I
like
think
more
it's attitude.
energy.
It was just attitude.
Stay with me here. I got it. I know. But my point is that necessarily wouldn't necessarily dictate if you're a really good basketball team or if you're not.
Yeah, but this is where I go back. Like, it's spotlighted on a year where you have a blank canvas and you bring in Caleb Martin and you bring in Paul George and you bring in all these guys. It's like, oh, this is how he operates. I'm getting paid for the next 2-3 years. I'm chilling. This is how he operates.
But no,
Well,
but
I'm just saying.
Paul George is considered a star in this league. So how does he operate?
Well,
I was just gonna say that.
I said it from day one. I didn't want Paul George,
Well,
so
no,
I'm not shy about
saying
that.
I know. I'm not saying I know how he operates. Tyrese Maxey is getting paid like a star in this league. Just throwing it out there to everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's not just how Embiid operates that's going to dictate. Tyrese Maxey's a hard worker. They talked about how much work they put in.
Yeah, well, he's not stopping that. So same with McCain. It's the same thing with him. But what I'm saying, this is the guy. This is the face of your franchise, the guy that sells out jerseys all in the arena, everyone loves and defends. This is the guy. And when you're Paul George and Caleb Martin and all these other guys that are new to your organization, new to your locker room, with him at the head and him at the face of it, no matter how good Paul George may be, it sends a message. It does. And it's highlighted and spotlighted more in a year when you bring in a bunch of new guys.
You know how it's highlighted? You know, go after it. You know how it's highlighted? You know it's highlighted? Then that tells me that those guys don't care enough.
No, but it starts with him.
The devil's advocate, which I agree with everything you said, right? So I'm arguing with you just to argue with you to create a debate. I want to make that clear as day here, right? My point, my other side of it is, like, I can be a role player, right? And my want to is sure as hell not dictated by what another guy's doing. There's the other argument to it.
But the reason, what we're talking about, though, what we're talking about.
No, but you can get sick and tired of that shit real quick.
You said you think this is a this year problem and this year problem only. The reason I disagree is Paul George. No, I know you don't know that, but I'm saying that's your opinion. The only reason I'm agreeing to disagree is because
I'm not
Paul
saying it's
George,
my opinion either. It's an argument to play the other side, to be clear again. So
the
I
reason,
just want to throw that out there.
The reason it's not a this year problem is because Paul George is no good. we're like, oh boy, he got hurt. We were no good when he was playing. He was one for 6. He had 2 points tonight. He was 1 for 6. He's no good. He's 35 years old. He's never been a winner his entire career. And you bring him here at 35, get him $200 million, thinking he's going to win. The Clippers didn't even want him. The team that had him didn't even want to resign him. Nobody's going to want that contract. He's here for the next 5 years. You're saying, oh, when he's 39 and the contract's expiring, someone will take him on. Yeah, we're lucky if we're alive by then. This team's going to drive us to have a heart attack.
I'm
just saying,
in 5 years. I mean, imagine worrying about that money in 5 years.
I'm just saying, he was 1 for 6 tonight with 2 points.
Where is it? Where are you going to get an argument back that Paul George is the next coming, and that's the guy we needed to fill it out? No, but that was the best one that was on the market. He's a scorer, right? He's a scorer. But
and
again,
Embiid gonna play the poor me. Oh my God, I have no help. When he's the one who recruited him, that's another problem. He was at the finals. He recruited him, and then in 2 months,
no help this year.
Yeah, I'm saying, but in 2 months he will. In 2 months you will. He's gonna say, "Well, it's difficult when you don't have a consistent
Now we're putting words. You're like.
Well, he's done it in the past. He's done it in the past.
I was gonna say,
we don't. He has said this in the past. Oh, we don't have.
You're like a Marcus Hayes. Like Mike Rotendo is the new Marcus Hayes. Right?
He said this in the past, Tom. I'm telling you.
What are they doing, by the way?
Today. He didn't say it now. So how are we going to say that he even brought it up now that you don't have nobody? What are we talking about? Nobody's played. So it's the first night they played. So
all right, we played Miami last game, and he said Jimmy Butler was the best player in the world. Those were his words. I think he's the best player in the world.
Yeah,
okay, because that's
a joke.
Forever.
That's a poor me. I used to have him, now I don't have him.
Oh, because a compliment. Now
everybody, he's not the best player in the world. We all know that. Jimmy Butler.
Well,
are you kidding me? That's poor me.
It's not poor me. That's I love a guy. That's a love a guy. You can't love a guy. You hear Saquon Barkley said about Dexter Lawrence? So you want to say these things, and let's say them. He said it's the best defensive player in football. So is that a poor me that I left the Giants? Mike, is that a poor me?
No, that's poor. That's poor them. Let me just give him a compliment because I got nothing else.
Okay.
I got nothing else going for him.
All right.
And you know what that is? He's coming to Philly. Let's reel him in. Dexter Lawrence, get over here.
But he is a good fit here for what we were looking for too. It's just sad.
He's a great fit. He plays great when it never matters, and he makes a lot of money, and we'll regret it. It's perfect.
But he's the
we saw it.
Guy that you needed in the
we
perimeter.
saw it coming a mile away. We saw it coming.
We needed perimeter offense, right?
We needed athletes. And I watched the game. I'm like, he's athletic. This guy's athletic. We have him. What the hell is going on?
I know we do, though.
It's actually crazy. Like, we all agree. This is the best team on paper we've had in the Embiid era. And this is the worst product of basketball.
Yeah.
Ever. That I've ever. This is worse than the process years.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, it's the expectation, right? The process teams obviously were completely worse, but there was zero expectation for them. Like, you were looking to find that Jared McCain out of the draft, right? You were looking
to find that.
You were looking to find that. What was it back? Who's the oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Who's the kid out of Syracuse?
Michael Carter-Williams.
Well, no, him, but who's the four that's now in Portland? I'm blanking
Grant.
on his name.
Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, you're looking for that Jeremy Grant type of player that we then ultimately trade away and wish you could keep him, or the TJ McConnells, right? Those are the good old days.
What was that stat, Luke, though? Because you said, well, obviously we're not worse in the process years, but we haven't even won a regular season game.
First 19 games, that process team didn't win a game in regulation.
Yeah, we're on pace right now. I'll tell you that.
We are very close. We are very close.
14.
I don't know the rules on this, the way of trading picks. I don't really know how this works, but I wonder if you can make a trade to like unprotect a pick. I actually don't know if you can do that. I wonder if that's something they flirt with in the deadline to say, we need that pick no matter what the hell it is. What can it take for us to unprotect that?
What they better do at the deadline is get rid of KJ Martin, please.
Oh, I think there's no way he's back.
Yeah, he's going to be traded.
We all are saying it.
That's why you signed it to that type of deal.
Well, I mean,
which is a crazy concept within itself that you can get money just to be wanting to get traded.
Well, I think the thing with him is I thought tonight when he came in with that lineup, I thought, he was athletic and he played really good perimeter defense. And He was athletic enough and tall enough per se to be able to contest some shots. You know, when you're talking about almost them shooting 50% from three, I mean, are we okay? I mean, that tells me that we can't get a hand up at anybody, right? So that just goes right to say that my guys on the perimeter, well, we see there's bad rotations going on, right? Terrible. I think the rotations, not in Nick Nurse, but like rotations defensively are just not happening, right? You guys notice the same thing? Like, I feel like there's guys just being left wide open, and then guys start feeling themselves, and then it's like they're going to hit shots with you right in their face. But I thought tonight that 5 played our best defense. So if we want to go off of something, I mean, I don't really love KJ Martin getting a lot of minutes, like Mike's saying. I don't like him, but I need somebody who's going to play some defense, right? Like when Embiid on the court, like I can't even worry about offense, right? Tonight, I should win, right? I should win scoring 111. I should be able to win. And that's what I'm saying. Like they had 97, I think, at the start of the third or the fourth. I mean, that's just unacceptable.
I mean, the Sixers, I mean, today's kind of an anomaly, but today they are the worst offensive team in the league in points per game. They rank dead last.
And Luke, they're also dead last defensively.
Yeah.
They're dead last
I was getting
offensively.
there.
The offense, we know why that is. Okay? The offense, when Embiid doesn't play, you're taking out 30 a night. Right? If George doesn't play, you're taking out 20 per se in what you're paying him. Make sense? And then if Maxey doesn't play. So we lost a lot of guys. So the offense being as bad as it is, I understand it, right? I understand it. We talked about this. Defense is a 1-2.
Yep.
Defense is a 1-2.
And Ricky Council wants to, baby.
There's nothing to do with offense. So you know they're going to score enough when those guys play enough, right? Can we all agree there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only way you get better defensively, again, is the 1-2, but it's playing together. Because we talk about the rotations that happen on defense and guys aren't in spots they're supposed to be at. That just all comes to playing with each other. It's a communication.
No, did he?
I don't know.
Ricky Council wants to. I liked him tonight. He was
Ricky
aggressive
Council.
on the boards.
His
telling you,
minutes
offensive
make
rebound.
no sense.
Yeah, they
How
check him in
he
and out.
doesn't play more doesn't make any sense.
He wants to. Him and Caleb Martin tonight wanted to, and I'll give him that. And I know you guys talked about this earlier. Kelly Oubre has been abysmal. He's been
I was
so
just gonna
bad.
say he's by far and away the most tradable player in your team. Not even close.
I loved him. Like last year, dude got hit by a car and he came back balling. I think maybe needs to get hit by a car again. I don't know what his problem is.
He was better. He was better tonight. That was probably his best night in a minute. But he was the guy we all begged for back.
We threw the white flag against Miami, and he was a part of that lineup. And I think they left Embiid out there just to stick it to him. But I think it's the same thing for Kelly. I think they just left him out there because Kelly's been that bad.
He takes a lot of bad shots.
You won't be late to the meeting? We're going to leave you out here. How's that knee feel?
Eric Gordon could never play basketball again. Eric Gordon could never play basketball again. I wouldn't care. I mean, this guy said on Twitter that every Sixers lineup has at least one dumb guy, at least one old guy, and at least one tiny guy. And I think he fits all three. As far as he's on the court, that all three of those, they will hit. I mean, it's that bad. I don't need to see him anymore.
No. But like I said, if we get a better night from Maxey, we win this game. Right? It's really as simple as that.
He wasn't good. He was never playing today. That was a bad press, panic move on the organization. Get him out there. It was so easy once he played 5 minutes in the first quarter.
My backup guard's easy for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and what was his minutes?
My backup guard's so simple for the rest of the year.
What was his minutes?
Two aren't in the lineup. It's Reggie Jackson.
It's Reggie. It's got to be.
When
he didn't shoot the ball enough.
When those two aren't in the lineup, who?
Reggie. He played 16 minutes. He got to shoot the ball more than 4 times.
No, but I still liked his energy. He had 2 steals. He played good defense. Right. So that's what I'm looking for from Reggie Jackson. Go play good defense. Right. Score enough because you're going to probably play with Embiid a lot of times. Right. So you might not get as many shots, but be productive. Right. Be productive in your minutes. And he was, but that should be your backup guard. No question about it. Yeah. Obviously, if you're going to start those 2 guys. But Kelly Oubre is obviously our biggest disappointment for a guy who's played all year. But again, 12 games in, I'll give him a minute to sort of figure out his role too, because he's another guy who his roles change on a nightly basis on who he's playing with. And some guys are just role players like that, and that kind of consistency matters. Other guys can just go out and ball, right? It don't matter, right? And you see the guys who are not role players because they'll go out and ball no matter who's around them. Jared McCain, that's why we know he's good. We know he's good, one, because he's 20 years old, right? He's a baby, he's a puppy. And two, because he's balling, it don't matter who he's playing with.
Yeah.
So you can say, oh, yeah, that guy can play. You guys get where I'm going with this? Some guys, like Caleb Martin, looked great tonight. He didn't score a lot, but you're saying, how did he look great? Because defensively, he was all over the place. All over the place. Because now he's in his role. He's more in his role. Be a three-ball guy, shoot the three, play great defense, be huge on the perimeter for us. And you put those guys in their situations. And then some guys, it doesn't matter. Like Reggie Jackson doesn't need a role, in my opinion, to go score. That's just what he does. He's not Jamal Crawford or who's the dude in Utah? Oh my goodness.
Laurie Markkinen.
No,
Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson. Yeah. He's not. I'm not telling you Jordan Clarkson, but it's you guys get where I'm going. That's it.
And this organization is bizarre because, like Luke said, like Maxey was never supposed to play. He plays 5 minutes in the first quarter, doesn't return, doesn't come back for the second quarter, and in the second half he plays 14 minutes. So he totaled the game with 19 minutes. But like, why did you play 5 minutes in the first quarter, not see the floor again? What's that?
20.
They played
Bad
20
press.
minutes. All right, either more. That's what I'm saying.
All
so
right.
you can play 20 minutes.
All right.
I'll never
Bad
understand.
press.
I'll
That's
never
what.
understand minute restrictions in the NBA. If you could play 20 minutes, what the hell is 5 more minutes going to do? You're a professional athlete. I get you hurt your hamstring.
He couldn't play 20 minutes. He looked horrible. He couldn't. He couldn't. But he shouldn't have been playing.
You can make the argument we win tonight if you just sit Tyrese.
Yeah, he
and it's
shouldn't
not a
have
knock on
played.
Tyrese. It was just he wasn't ready to come back.
Yes, they rushed him out there simply because of bad press. If that meeting never happened, he would not have played today.
You do this every Wednesday night.
He would not have played.
Every Wednesday night, it's deeper, and I love it.
It is deeper.
But yeah, every
He
Wednesday
wasn't
night.
supposed to-
Reason he
As
plays,
of 2 nights ago, he was
happened
out
in the
all
meeting.
week. He was out all week as of 2 days ago.
No way.
Now he's
No way
playing.
all this is
What?
You're right.
No, he was No, that's not true because he was questionable on Monday night.
No, yeah, Monday after all that. No, that was really Tuesday morning. He was not questionable until Tuesday morning.
Yes, he was.
Then you start. Yeah, but what it happened
Yes, he
after
was
that
over the-
meeting.
No, over the weekend.
No, he was not questionable over the
Yeah, he was
weekend.
not.
There's no
going
way.
into Monday night's game, he was questionable.
He was going to get reevaluated, which always means like, yeah, he'll be back now at this time.
No, he
Never
was
like, oh,
questionable.
like we're gonna play.
No, he was
And like Tom
questionable.
likes to say, there wasn't a shot he didn't like. Like he was 0 for 6. He kind of shot himself in the foot. I mean, you can
All right, well, how about this?
without
Let's say
having
you're
to
right.
be Kobe.
Let's say you're right. Is that a good idea to have him trot out there
Who's
for
on the
20
grassy knoll
minutes?
tonight, Luke? I mean, goodness gracious. Who's on the grassy knoll tonight? Who took the shot at JFK? I mean, what are we? We're that.
Even if you're right, even if you are right, which I don't think you're right, but
this
even
guy
if you are
paid
right,
to play basketball and he played to rev him up. That now we're going to say the only reason they revved him up was because of bad press.
yeah, because there was no sign that he was going to play before this happened. None. He wasn't supposed to play this week.
Monday night. Questionable Monday night. I had a feeling he was playing tonight.
Let's see how much he plays on Friday.
Yo, pre-me knowing anything, just a common sense feel. He was questionable on Monday. Means a good chance he might play some minutes.
I don't
Wednesday
think he
night.
was questionable.
He was. I don't have to
On
be
Monday.
100% factual. 100% factual. He was questionable Monday night.
I didn't see that.
And I never understand the ramping up. I mean, you got professional athletes. Some teams do it. You do it for a game or two, so be
With
it.
a hammy.
But we exaggerate the hell out of it. This guy played
Not with a
20 minutes
hammy.
tonight.
Not
Okay,
with a hammy.
But then why? How can you play 20 minutes then if you have a hammy?
Because you're getting your cardio back up. It ain't about.
He sat for
revenue.
an entire quarter. Your cardio
Yeah,
should be up.
the
And
whole
then you went
that
to
doesn't make
halftime.
any sense.
Well, I can't answer the questions on the rotations.
You know, I'm with
Right.
you. I'm just saying you sat for a whole quarter, then you went into the halftime.
You guys are out of your damn minds. That's all I'm going to say to you two, right? You
It's not
two,
good for your hammy to sit
This
for an
is
hour. and a half.
fun. This is
you
fun.
two are off the rocker. Like I feel like I'm watching a late night documentary, and they're the biggest. They're finding everything. They found it all out tonight. I'm like, oh my god, I got so much information. Like I'm leaving smarter. I love it. I'm like, I didn't know this. I didn't know this was a thing.
I'm saying you're a sports
we're making
guy.
out a guy playing that it's this huge conspiracy that he's playing.
Yes.
And oh my god, I can't believe it. I'm not mad at you. I'm just in shock because part of me believes it and part of me doesn't. I don't know where to go. But every Wednesday we lift up another fucking rock. I mean, there ain't no more rocks. I mean, we're rockless. We're rockless in Philly.
I think now that
my
the
God.
Embiid rock has been lifted, I think we are officially rockless.
We're rock
Oh,
I've
bottom.
never
is what
come
we
at
are.
Embiid. I've
We're
never
rock
come at
bottom.
Embiid like that.
Rock bottom.
But seriously though, like you're a sports guy. If you have a bad hammy, I know it's serious. So like to sit for 6 minutes of the first quarter, then 12 minutes of the second quarter, then halftime, you're looking at an hour and a half before you're going back on the floor. And then you just magically play 15 minutes. That's not good for your hammy. It's not.
Here comes the doctor.
I'm not a doctor,
not
man.
you, not you. Not you.
But he did say the Holiday Inn Express last night.
No, not you, Casey, I bet. Casey, here comes the doctor. Here comes Dr. K, 3D printed kneecap, like you talked about last year. He says Embiid had an unhealthy weight loss. He gained no stamina or strength or athleticism from that weight loss. All right. Oh my goodness gracious. The weight loss gate. Oh my God. The guy got worse. Guy tried to lose weight.
No,
They
I'm
go
not gonna
Chick-fil-A,
lie. I'm
and
not
it
gonna
gets
lie.
worse. Put the weight
That's
back on.
I was
Back to
saying that
Chick-fil-A.
to my boys during the Knicks game. Like maybe he's just not used to playing at this weight. You know, I think we'll be okay. Like
Brian, you're off the damn rocker too. All right, I know you. You know desperation. Desperation for what? You got Paul George and Joel Embiid playing tonight. Where's the desperation? The only thing that you could say on why he played is because they wanted all three to play together. You want to go there? That's where I'm at. You guys go deeper than that? Wow. Wow. Like take the team as far south as you can take them, like the Key West Sixers. Put them in Key West. You know, I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say what I was going to say after that.
I mean, they're 2-11, so to an extent, I think there was desperation. Well, before tonight, I'm saying.
Oh
they're
yeah, you're
2-11.
right.
So I think
we're
to an extent,
officially in the stage where there's always a stage in every season for the Sixers, at least recently, where someone tries to then want to bring back someone on the team that was so hated and so miserable. It was Simmons for a while. Got some Markelle Fultz out there. Now we got the bias being thrown back out there.
Oh
like
my
at least,
God.
like at least he tried. You know, like yeah. Like we're at that stage, real early for it. But
what's Shake Milton up to?
Yeah, shake and bake. I need a little shake and bake. KZ, no, you're not wrong now. I said put 50 back on. You know what I mean? Whatever you need.
I mean, he's got the Rob Gronkowski elbow thing on his knee.
oh no, I can't.
Where's Furka? Yeah, where's my son? Let me call him up.
I draw the line in the sand of Furcon. Can't do
Ain't
it.
no line in the
Yo,
sands when
Furkan-
you're this bad at 2-12.
Furkan
Yeah.
Korkmaz and Shake Milton, they had the Daniel Jones leash. I mean, that leash was long. They were here every year. I'm like, this guy's still.
Yeah, all these guys in it. I love saying that. All those guys went
He
in
was
and
so
out.
young,
And
there was
Shake
no
Milton.
reason to get rid of him.
Shake Milton was here for like 14 years. I feel like he got here when he was 14.
And Isaiah Joe and Charles Bassey were here for 2 seconds. By the way, let's not talk about that. Charles Bassey is one of the better backup centers in basketball right now, and he's like 22 or something. We needed Dwayne Dedmon for that one playoff run with Harden. We needed him so bad that we just cut him. Good riddance, and we needed Dwayne Dedmon. Let's just let that decision sink in too, because he's one of the best backup bigs currently in the league.
Yeah,
and he's 22.
And we're
Or however old he is. I'm making up an age, but he's young.
We did that a couple times. Tony Bradley ended up being a stiff, but we got rid of Tony Bradley for George Hill, who had 3 points in Game 7. He did nothing. Then we got rid of both of them, and we had Mike Scott playing center.
We needed Dwayne Dedmon. Needed him.
He's 24.
Dwayne Dedmon stinks out loud.
Yeah, we needed him.
I mean, Bassey's in a great situation. You know,
even without him, when he gets
better
minutes,
coaching, like I'm saying, better coaching. than he was getting here with Doc Rivers, right?
Well, that's yeah.
So, like if he was here under Nick
That's not
Nurse,
saying much.
like Nick Nurse staff's better at developing. Obviously, they have a better track record. Those guys, like Rico Hines and stuff. So, I would feel like he would benefit more with that regime if he was here. I feel like because he will play a young guy. He's proven that he don't give a shit. As reading Jared McCain is playing, he don't care. So, that's I wish he was here. My point is, I wish he was here with this regime because he's just a good backup center. He's just a solid backup center.
We made Jake Laravia look like LeBron tonight.
Oh my god!
I feel like Laravia was everywhere. What did he have tonight?
We traded him too. We traded for Melton.
He had 11.
I don't hate that though. The Melton trade I'm cool with. That was fine.
I mean, they shot 44% from three.
Yeah, they lit it up. They were over 50 early on in the game.
Yeah, they were 19 for 43 from three.
I mean, we out rebounded them. I mean, no, we were tied in rebounds. Sorry. I mean, they turned the ball over 19 times. Like those things are saying, like, yo, you almost essentially outplayed him in some of those things, but you're just not able to get enough stops. Just not able to get enough stops.
Andre Drummond, going back to the point of like who's been the most disappointing, Kelly's no doubt up there for sure. He's probably number 2. Andre Drummond tonight played 13 minutes and was a minus 13. He has been horrible. And I know that we pointed it out to like, yeah, he's not used to playing all these minutes and he shouldn't be playing all these minutes. Let's wait for Embiid to come back. He doesn't have that ability to have that much ownership of the paint anymore on either end of the floor. And at this point, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like at least Yabu gives you the ability to stretch the floor, at least. And it's not perfect, far from it. But I will take his ability to do that and at least be a threat to score than Drummond that gives you literally nothing. He doesn't rim protect. He doesn't do like what does he offer?
He has no post moves. Also, how you been in the NBA this long and all you can do is just turn around and shoot a layup? Like he has no post moves.
I can't be that mad because I really wanted him back here. I'm just saying, disappointing wise, he's number 1 for me. He has been horrible, and it's shocking.
And Yabusele has been shooting it from 3, but I hope he doesn't get trigger happy. Listen, if he keeps hitting at a high clip, then so be it. But he was 5 for 6 from 3 tonight. I don't obviously.
He's been great all
that's
year.
going to continue, but he's been really good.
And it was funny too. Like that's how a box score can deceive you, right? Because I'm sitting there looking at a box score because I didn't have it on down here, and I'm thinking, oh, put Andre Drummond in a limited role. He almost gives you a point per minute, gives you 6 rebounds. Probably played a pretty good game. Same thing with Yabusele. He played less than 20 minutes, was really effective. I'm not saying he didn't play a good game, right? But to hear how bad Drummond was with the plus minus, and you're like, oh, maybe the box score does lie a little bit.
Totally.
Well, it's just like he can't move defensively.
Yeah.
So you have another big. It's another reason why you're getting killed at 3, right? Like a night like tonight, like Embiid can't get out there. Drummond can't get out there. They don't move well. Neither one are moving well right now, right?
Yeah.
So it kills you. It kills you. You need a guy who can at least move, right? When you got to switch on all those types of plays, you get in trouble.
I'm not saying he was great, right? But we talked about Bassey, right? We talked about we didn't talk about him yet, but like Paul Reed, like you need. I'm not saying these guys would have made any difference, but you need that athletic big at times too, right? Like there's going to be at times where you're going to need Drummond to clog that paint area, but then there is going to be times where you're going to need that athletic big like Bona is potentially supposed to be, but he's just not there yet, right? So, and I think that's obviously where we're at in the bigs because we don't have very many.
And this is a bizarre take, but he played 12 minutes, which is an entire quarter, and he had 0 fouls, which tells me he's not rim protecting. Because you mentioned Paul Reed. Yeah, Paul Reed used to rim protect, and he would pick up 5 fouls in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
But you also need a guy like that can pick up fouls, and it really doesn't matter. I would love to see Drummond rim protect more and try to block shots because Embiid doesn't do it. We talk about how great of a defender Embiid is. He's never been a good defender. He's a great defender when there's 2 minutes or less in the game, and he has to defend. And he has no fouls, so there's no risk of him fouling out. Besides that, minutes 1 through 46, the guy's not a good defender. If you actually watch the game, his presence might make him a good defender, but he doesn't play defense. You could just run right at him and put up any layup you want. He will not contest it. That's always how he's played. Minutes 1 through 46, he's nowhere to be found. And then in the last 2 minutes of the game, when it's time to clamp up, one of the best defenders in the world because he doesn't have to worry about getting in foul trouble. That's just always how he's been. You need a guy that can eat up fouls and be a rim protector. And especially with his knee right now, we just don't have the rim protector.
We can add Paul Reed to that list now, guys. We want back here.
Oh, I don't want him back. He stinks. I'm just saying he would check in and get 3 fouls right away. And it was frustrating as hell, don't get me wrong. But we don't have a guy like that where you could just throw in and his fouls don't matter as far as rim protection.
Yeah, but there's part of that you don't hate from Joel, right? There's part of that in the game. You don't need him digging cheap fouls and putting himself in this scenario or situation where he's got to spend extra time on the bench, right? So part of that first, 48 or 44 minutes of the game, I don't hate. But to your point, there needs to be a little bit of effort shown. And so far this year, at least in the very small sample size we're getting, it's not there right now.
Yeah. No, I agree with the strategy of it. I think he's smart for doing so. I'm not even complaining about it. I'm just saying that's the reality.
Yeah.
Like if you quarters 1 through 3, if I'm opposing teams, I'm sprinting right at him and attacking the basket because he doesn't want to get in foul trouble. But yeah, I mean, they shot the lights out, right? So part of me is like, all right, they hit 19 threes tonight. That's a season high for Memphis. So it's like they played a pretty good game tonight. We scored 111 points. Yabu played well. Maxey and George didn't show up. They had 10 points combined, but Maxey was getting implemented and George got hurt. I get all that. But besides that, like I thought the role players, everyone played pretty well tonight, but our defense on the perimeter was just bad because some of those threes were just wide open. It was just not rotating or rotating late or helping when you don't need a help. And they got a lot of open threes.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about right before you guys both joined was when you're struggling offensively and struggling cohesiveness on the offensive side, the defense has always got to be there as your backbone, right? You got to obviously get some stops and be able to keep a team like Memphis under 117 points for a night, right? When we talked about it, right? No Zach Edey, no Ja on the back-to-back, right? They shouldn't be outscoring you if you're the team that you're supposed to be, right? So that I think is, especially tonight, has been the most disappointing was just a lack of defense on there.
Yeah, let's get into our players of the game too. For Eagles.
For the Eagles.
Yeah, might as well get into that.
Yeah.
Unless you want to continue down
No.
The depression road. Right.
They sure you want me to? Because I said Jake Elliott last week and the guy missed all these.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one. There was a kicker nightmare.
Yeah.
Kicker nightmare across the NFL.
I mean, listen, they're traveling. They had to travel back. They had to travel east and then back over here as well. So they just played in New England, and obviously got to win. And any Matt Stafford team is a good team in my opinion. So, it's you expect a dogfight. They're better defensively than what it looks like name recognition wise.
Totally.
So it's gonna be a tough football game. That being
Their strength is our strength, right?
Yep.
Their wide receivers versus our cornerbacks right now. I'm really looking forward to that matchup.
I agree. And listen, who are we? Well, we know who we are. It's the best rushing attack in football.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go in there and we impose our will like we're capable of, I don't have a team beating us right now. I don't have a team that's going to be lacing it up that's better. I just don't. If that identity stays true, there isn't one better. And I'm extremely confident saying that. Because if you do want to get cute and you do want to load the box up, now you're playing to the quarterback's strengths. Now you're leaving one-on-one on the outsides. You're allowing fly routes, right? You're allowing one-on-one covers all day. You're allowing easy slants. You're allowing some things that become easier reads. So it's not as easy as just saying, well, stop Saquon Barkley. Well, some guys are that great that you don't stop them. You hope to what? Contain them. You hope to contain them. But every week he breaks off a big one. And I love this defense. I
defense is playing really well.
It's arguably one of the better defenses as of right now that I've seen, and this week's a big test to that. Right? This week's a big test to, are you going to hold? You're going to hold them to one touchdown. I'm not saying that, right? I think this is a 28-24 Eagles win, or actually 27-24 Eagles win on a Jake Elliott.
Oh, Jakey Poo,
51-yarder.
He finds it.
He's 0 from 50, so we'll say.
And I was about to say, now we're going 50-yarder.
He's not my player of the game, though. My player.
Birds -3, over under 49.
Yeah, it's 2.5 on some
Birds
books
-3. This is on Hard Rock Bet. It's plus 100. That's even money. Birds -3 is even money.
Yeah, well, that's it's
suspect.
They're telling you they're like a really.
Yeah, it's essentially a pick 'em.
In Philly, they're saying it's a birds are +3,
-3.
Oh yeah, so if that game's
yeah, 6 point, yeah.
If that game's played in Philly, they're saying they're a touchdown favorite in Philly.
Yeah,
so that's fair.
But I think they're better. I think the Rams are better than that. So I think and especially at home, I think they give you a more competitive game. That's why I say, hey, 3, like right there, -3, 27-24. I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah.
I think you nailed it, Tom. I wouldn't stack the box and get cute. Don't leave anybody one-on-one. I would rather Stafford throw the ball because he makes errant decisions sometimes. He tries to thread the needle when it's not there. I mean, he's a boomer bust guy just from having him in fantasy. The guy scores 30 points a week or 5. There's no in between. I mean, he's going to be a turnover machine or a touchdown machine. It's just what tier you getting that day or that week. So I would just don't stack the box, don't get cute, don't leave one-on-ones. And this defense, our defense has been great. I mean, turnover after turnover every week, we're just stacking them. So I think we could just continue that trend and make them throw the ball. We'll be all right. Because Kyron Williams has been good too.
Isn't that scary though? Like, I mean, you're absolutely right, but isn't that scary? Like, you sit there with a Matt Stafford team, and you're like, yeah, let's let him throw it around. Right?
Yeah,
normally,
like
you don't go in there saying, hey, let's let Matt Stafford throw the ball around the yard. But I think you're spot on, right? Especially because that's been our strength this year. Our strength has been our defense, especially our secondary. Right? No one in our secondary is letting up big plays. When you look at Slade's individual numbers, they're what they've always been. We obviously know Q is on lockdown corner over there, lockdown island, right? What are they saying? Guantanamo Bay.
Yep.
I mean, McLaurin had 1 catch for 10 yards last week.
And they didn't even look at him until the end of the game.
2 targets.
Incredible.
They didn't look at him until the end of the game.
This is a little crazy, right? Their opponents' yards are 20th in football. The average yards per play are 25th in football. Rush yards against is 16th. Rush attempts 23rd. That doesn't matter. Rush average is 10th in football at 4.3 yards a game they're giving up. And passing yards, passing average, they're 21st and 30th. So guess, you sort of see where you can beat them. You can beat them in the air a little bit, obviously.
And that's the crazy part about it is Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are 2 of the greatest receivers in football. I just think Matt Stafford is Matt Stafford, but at times he's Jameis Winston. He just makes terrible decisions and goes for the home run. I'm just saying he goes for the home run when it's not there. He does it.
You're not wrong, though.
So I think depending, you feel out what kind of Stafford shows up that day because, like I said, he's going to go for the home run when it's not there. And if he's
they're a throw first team. Okay, I mean they're 9th in pass yards, 10th in pass attempts. Right? He's been sacked 8th most in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you look at those things, their rush attempts are 24th in football. Right, rush yards are 28th in football, so their identity is they're going to come throw the football. They're going to come throw the football on Sunday.
And Kyron's complete, right? He'll catch balls out of the backfield. He'll get his hands on the ball in any way he can.
Yeah, and a lot of his action comes in the red zone as well.
Yeah,
they like to pound the
rock
rock in the red
started
zone.
to play a lot last week too. He started to play a little bit more. I was kind of surprised that he hasn't. Blake Corum, like he's an older guy that they drafted relatively high in the draft. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't gotten more tick to start.
Look at his defense, guys. Look at his defense. Opponent rank First off, they're 5th in points given up a game. Yards, they're 1st. Plays, they're 2nd. Average, they're 2nd. 4.7 yards an average, I think it is.
There you go.
Rushing, they're 6th in football. Still haven't given up 1,000 yards yet. They're 1 away. Rush average, they're 8th. Passing yards, they're 2nd. Pass average, they're 1st.
That's the big key because people forget how bad it was last year.
Yep.
Out of all the bad,
Yeah.
that was the worst of it all. That was out of everything that was bad, because there was a lot of bad. That was debatably the worst problem of them all. It was that bad.
So to say that, like, you can make the argument that the Rams are going to play in our hands a little bit on what we like to do. And I think Vic's been great. His defense has been great. Doesn't mean they're going to be great every week, right? But I have a lot more confidence in them that this is a way more athletic, huge upside defense. There's a lot of upside floating around this defense. A lot of it. A lot of young guys. Nolan Smith has been playing great, right? Big time pulse. Nakobe Dean, just talk about draft picks, has been great. Zach Bowen's been unbelievable. Q and Cooper have been awesome. I mean, you get on the list. You just get on the list. So 28, 27, 24 birds. Offensive player of the game. Let's go. I think Devontae's so due for a monster.
He's questionable right now to play.
That's fun.
With a hammy. They said he left practice. They said he's been struggling to make it through the games all the past 2 weeks, but he left practice. Or as he was walking off, he was limping.
Give me AJ for 2 tutties.
Oh, you love it.
I just say that so they run the ball. And and just to say, I'll go defensively because we're here. We've been waiting for this one. Give me a Q pick 6 here.
Ooh.
Jump around one time.
Oh, we played the Buccaneers. I mean, we got shelled, but that was earlier in the year.
Yeah.
We played against Mike Evans and Godwin. I would say those are 2 wide receivers.
Yeah. That was at our bad time of the year.
And the Bengals, Higgins was hurt.
You played against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Like, what are we talking about, Bill? Like,
Plus, they've done their job. They've been dominant.
First of all, can we stop acting like those 2 guys? Like, I know what Cooper Kupp is, okay? But can we stop acting like that?
Tuca's hurt. Tuca's dealing with injuries too, though.
Well, no, but part of their success is Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Like, we just act like they're like the best wide receivers in football. Like, part of their success is they play with a spinner.
Yeah.
With a spinner. So if you're good, you're going to go up a notch because you're playing with a spinner. If you're bad, you're going to be bad, right? There ain't no helping bad. But if you're good, right, you're going to go up a little bit of a level. So they ain't like game-changing wideouts here. Like, if you put them with like an average spinner, they're not as good. They're just
Jared
good.
Goff. When he was playing with Jared Goff, he was good. I'm not saying he was good. Yeah, I'm not saying he was good.
But he wasn't like, that's a top 10 wideout.
Yeah, he took off.
It just goes to a level. It's okay. It's not a Cooper shot, but it's like
Bill, AJ Brown. Chase. How about AJ Brown?
Jamar Chase is better than both of them combined. So
AJ Brown's a great one, Luke.
Yeah, AJ Brown was not like that in Tennessee. There's a reason they didn't pay him. Not saying they were right for it, clearly not, but just saying.
No. The QB helps the game here. The QB helps the game. And like I said, Bill, Jamar Chase makes up 3 guys. Like, that's how good he is. That he can make up 3 guys. So when you got a spinner and Burrow and Jamar Chase, that's a huge shutdown game. And if anybody that watches them play and doesn't say to yourself, like, wow, that's the game that showed me our defense is for real, then I don't know. Like,
especially how it started, right? Go back to how it started. They walked right down the field on us.
Yep.
Like we weren't even there.
Nope. We just showed up.
Just like zoo, and then touchdown. You're like, what the? And then we shut them down the rest of the game.
Yeah. So
no, Don's not a shot. Far from it. I thank the Titans every day for making that stupid decision.
But Bill, I don't think they're gonna. Like again,
but
I don't think we're
perspective.
giving up.
We didn't
30.
have Brown or Smith. We didn't have AJ Brown or Devontae Smith the Bucks game, so the defense was on the field all game.
How about this
perspective.
question? How many guys in the league do have those two guys?
Not many. Us.
It doesn't matter. The Lions, they don't even have that.
No. Us.
They're a better football team than all of it. Right. Exactly. So
it.
it's not really
That's
a
it.
fair.
Guys will have good like Cincinnati and Higgins and Jamar is a great 1-2 punch, but like Higgins ain't on one elsewhere like that. Like I love him. I love him. I seriously do, but he's not a one elsewhere. He plays with Joe Burrow too. Like he plays with Burrow. He's a close one, but if you put him with like an average QB, he's like okay, he's fine.
Not everyone's Justin Jefferson.
No,
he's one of one.
No, some guys will make the QB better. Don't get me wrong.
He's
but
one
that
of
guy's
one.
still got to have a spin to him.
Yeah.
Right. Like Darnold can spin it. So enough. Right. He's not at a Stafford spin rate. Right. I mean, even Jared Goff has grown his game into a huge spinner of the rock.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the best stories in football history. Like that guy was looked at as a bust.
He was done.
Like 4 years into his career, it's like,
yeah. People anticipated Detroit picking a quarterback in this draft.
Yep. And he said,
or last draft. And he said, no, get on the back.
We're good. Put me in the dome all day. But give him a great coach, too. And let a guy resurrect the guy. That's what we saw there. Yeah, I don't know why we're still going. Give me your scores, guys. What we do? Let's go.
30-24 Birds.
I'm accountable.
I'll go 24-23. I'm with you on a Jake Elliott game winner. Why not?
Ooh. God, I can't wait for Twitter to blow up when Jake runs out in the field.
I think it's going to be low scoring. I just have a feeling with both teams. I think Kyron Williams and Saquon Barkley are just going to get the ball 25 times. So I just think I'm going to say 17-10 Birds. I think the clock's going to be running. It's going to be low scoring.
17-10. Oh, my God. I don't know if I can handle that on a Sunday night.
This is unbelievable. I know
Mom's
Higgins
birthday.
Happy birthday,
Mom's
Mama.
birthday on
Mama
Sunday. Gotta wake up early.
Oh my God.
Thank God we play at night though. Like that's the clutch, right? I don't have to worry about getting early stuff done to play at 1 o'clock.
Oh, we did Sunday night game?
Sunday night game, baby.
Holy shit. I forgot about that. Let's go.
We get Carrie Underwood.
Oh, yeah. You're good.
Waiting all day.
For Sunday night.
Yeah. Well done.
Offensive player of the game, I will go. Give me glass jaw, Dallas Goedert.
Real quick, though. Mike's got us at the 85 Bears. I mean, we're the 85 Bears. We're the 2000 Ravens. So like, you just aren't scoring off us. I love it. Like, if they give up 10 this week, I would be, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like Buddy Ryan.
We need Bryce Huff back.
Yeah, Buddy Ryan era. That's all my bad.
Offensive going Goddard. Glass jaw.
Sky Williams talking about the freaking over-under on FanDuel. Yeah, go check what the over-under was for the Sixers game today and the spread. Vegas isn't always right. They just got to shoot par. They either get the over-under wrong or they get the spread wrong. Like, they're going to get one of them right.
I think Rams cover this one where all the money's at. Doesn't mean we won't win.
Bill's on it tonight. You know what I mean?
Go slam the over, William. If you like it that much, go hit it. 50 if it's 50.
Bill gets stuck on things sometimes. We love him. Maybe he's stuck on this 2 wide receiver.
But we got 3 good corners, so we still outnumber them.
What 2 guys around the league, Bill? Like, I don't know where you're seeing that. Who are you playing that has it? It's almost an irrelevant conversation.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Like, I love you. I love the comments. I appreciate every one of them. But like, sometimes it's okay to say like, you know what, I had a couple cocktails tonight, and I'm on one that I probably say it doesn't make sense. There isn't those guys around the league.
And we can go down our entire schedule that's remaining too. Like who are the Ravens? Do they have 2 number ones? No.
The
Panthers?
Lions don't even have that.
Yeah. Steelers, no. Commanders, no. Cowboys, Giants. I mean, you can go down to every NFL team.
That's what makes them unique. That's their strength.
Yeah.
They got 2 running backs, but they don't have 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
This is 101. Sometimes things are 101. You don't.
Luke,
you
Mike,
don't-
offensive players of the game.
I'm gonna go with the Mariano Rivera of our team because that's the comp I'm making. Saquon Barkley. Every game he's finished well, we've won, and the only game he didn't outside of the blowout, we lost. He is the
Yeah, catch
closer.
the damn ball.
He is the closer. He is the give it to him enough. He will break it loose. I believe it's one of those kind of like offense isn't on fire days until he gets going at the very end, kind of similar to what we saw on Thursday. And that's a damn good formula of winning because he's that good. So I'll go Saquon. He breaks one. But I like the Jake Elliott game winner.
Yeah, I said Jake Elliott last week because I thought Nick would take the points, and I was right. But Jake Elliott
He
didn't
took
want
the
to take the
points.
points.
They just didn't
So,
work.
yeah, my buddies were texting me. They're like, I guess this is why Nick doesn't take the points. I
That's
guess
so
this is why he
annoying.
didn't take them all along.
Yeah.
I
Maybe he's
feel
not
like-
an idiot.
I feel like
He is.
Dallas Goedert's been very quiet. We're talking about two wide receivers here. We're talking about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and we're talking about Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. And so what do we have that they don't, besides Saquon, obviously? We got Dallas Goedert. They have Davis something. I don't remember his name, and Colby Parkinson. So Goddard's been quiet. I feel like he's done a whole lot of nothing. I remember like he had a big game against the Saints, and besides that, he was out with an injury, and he's been just super quiet. So give me a Dallas Goedert tutty in this one.
I like it.
I
Defensive.
think alike.
We'll get out of here after defensive. But defensive players of the game. I say Q with a pick six.
Yeah, give me the greatest defender of the year. Give me Zach Bowen.
Ooh.
Give me the most underappreciated player in the NFL, Jalen Carter. He has been killing it.
He's a monster.
Monster.
He's been monsters in spots. Now we need to see monsters every game, right? Because
Yeah.
that's what made the likes of like Aaron Donald's and even mostly Fletcher Cox's career. They were monsters every week.
Like he's a monster, and all of a sudden we have a pass rush. I don't think
Correct.
that's a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence.
And mine, I've been busting his chops lately, but I'm going to go Darius Slay. It's Sunday Night Football. It's on national TV. He's going to fool the world into thinking that he's this big thing. He's not. He's been good. I'm not saying he's not, but I feel like he gets overhyped that he's this great, which he's not. He's been good. But I just think, especially on Sunday Night Football when the whole world's watching, he'll make a couple plays, and there's big play Slay. I see it. I hear it right now. Was it Al Michaels?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. No, it's
Give me Slay.
absolutely.
I like it.
Giddy up. Sunday Night Football. And then a late post game.
Oh, maybe.
Oh.
We'll have to do it during the game. You know what I mean?
Ooh, little second half reactions.
We might have to. You know, it's one of those situations. Like,
Yeah.
you know, do we want to be doing it till 2 a.m.? I mean, is that what we want to do?
No, not particularly.
Sound like that's what you wanted. Just kidding.
That's just where
Also-
we usually go.
This is so random, but Kenneth Gainwell has not scored a touchdown this year. Maybe we steamroll him, and maybe he finds 6.
All right, that's a good one.
Kenny G.
Kenny
He's not
G in
scored
the
this year.
house.
Play that saxophone, Kenny G.
Kenny G.
They crack me up with him too, because I know you don't want Barkley to get hurt, but he's your third down blocker. Every third down, Gainwell's on the field to block. It's like the smallest dude on the roster. He's your big blocker. What's up with that? I mean, Saquon's legs are freaking tree trunks. So we got Kenneth Gainwell out here blocking
It's true.
on third downs. It's so funny.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I do love the Mike Conrad slap. I do, because Slay's a fraud. You know what I mean? He's the biggest fraud in Philly that is not talked about enough because his wife likes to tweet and she's got fake tits, and everybody like in the Twitter world just wants to gravitate to her like it's the sexiest woman alive. You know what I mean? And that's when I started getting rubbed the wrong way. You know, I'm not saying she's not super attractive. I just
I'm
don't
down.
listen, you guys
No argument here.
I'm not in, right? I'm just telling you that there ain't nobody around here gonna put pussy on a pedestal. You understand? The dictated man's game or not.
I'm
You
with
understand?
you.
On the football field where
I hear you.
no, but this guy, you hear me out. There's guys on Twitter because they like her so much, he can't do anything wrong.
Oh, 100%.
That's all.
Especially when she was doing giveaways.
Yeah, that's weird to me. That's weird. Like you never
Early on, she was doing giveaways.
Nobody's
and,
ever touched it. It's okay. Like nobody's ever touched it. That's fine. Nobody's mad at you, but they're the type of people that are like, I'm no, can't do it. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And I just think, especially because when the whole world's watching on Sunday Night Football, it's a lot of casuals when it comes to the Eagles. Like, we're diehard Eagles fans. We watch it week in and week out. But a lot of casuals that are just fans of the NFL are going to be watching this game, and they're going to hear about how good Slay is, and he's make a couple plays, and there he is, Slay, his 6th tackle of the night. We're going to be like, oh, wow, yeah, he's been everywhere tonight. It's just like it's such a great place for the fraud to perform.
Oh, it is. And you know what's great about, like, most Eagles fans that are out and about at the games? Like, they have no clue what happened.
Yeah.
You know, they're so drunk, they have no idea what happened.
Totally.
So they're all like, Slay's awesome. Like, you see his wife, she was here at the tailgate. Like, shut the heck up, dude. Enough with these guys. No, listen, if he's playing, I'm fine with it because I know
he's been good this year.
Because I know the guys, like the younger guys, are awesome right now. So, like, I can live with him if he's on the field. Like, I'm not gonna be mad if he's playing because I know what he is. Like, I don't expect big play to show up, right? I at this point of his career, just be good. Just be good. If you can just be good and you can make tackles in the open field and you don't start becoming a pussycat playing a grown man sport that you're getting paid the freaking tackle, all right? You signed up at one point as a kid to play tackle football, man. You understand? At one point as a child, Darius.
You're going into this at this time of the night?
Yeah, at one point, at one point.
I knew it right away.
Don knows how to do this. Like, at one point, Darius,
damn you, Don.
You signed up for tackle football. Like, I mean, we can tell you, like, now you don't want tackle.
And depending on what happens in this game, I might be done giving players of the game because I could just picture Cooper Kupp catching the game-winning touchdown on Slay now. And then again, I picked him as my defensive player of the game. He gets burnt like toast. And he's going to get burnt like toast, fall over, and it's Kupp for the win.
He'll just get hurt play too. It's fine.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he hobbles as soon as the game starts. He's limping.
He'll take his little beanbag to the tent to get checked out.
He's living in that tent, dude. He's got a fort in there.
He does. I wonder if she comes down with a giveaway.
Yeah, maybe she's in the tent with a giveaway. I wonder if Embiid's in there with her. Ball Jordan.
Oh, retweet it.
They're all in the medical tent.
Retweet up in here. Oh my goodness.
No, imagine a Philadelphia medical tent party. I mean, think about that.
We got a lot of names.
The celebs that would be in there. We got a lot of names.
Ton.
Dude, that's like a Mount Rushmore of like damn good players in that too. Like that's what's sad. I mean, just with Embiid at the top of it, you're like, oh, greatest athlete to ever step foot on a basketball court that we've seen. Mount Rushmore of injuries.
That'd be a fun party.
Like that's just us. Like we get the 6'10" point guard. That's like Magic and LeBron on steroids.
Yeah,
and he's the biggest.
Like Cooper Flag can only suck here. He's only gonna suck here.
Like Ben Simmons is the playboy. When Ben Simmons is the playboy, you know what I mean? That's what he is. He's a playboy. He cares about all that, right? And we'll get Cooper Flag in here. And
Cooper Flag will only suck here.
Wilson's gonna say the whites are back, and he'll average a point half a game.
He'll choke like he did at the end of the Kentucky game.
I can't have another. Dude,
this guy.
I can't have another Dookie. I can't.
That's crazy. Like especially because Simmons had 27, 15, and 13 against LeBron, and LeBron was tweeting like he's next up. He was like on Instagram like the next king.
I thought we were set for a dynasty.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
There was a 2 week. Yeah, there was a 2 week span early on in the process where I was all Brandon Ingram, and then you actually look at Ben. You're like, all right, I'm in. Here we go, Kevin Durant.
Put Don's
without the
thing
jumper.
Up. Put Don's thing up. He said Al Horford's sister seems perfect for Slay.
Oh, yeah.
And we talk about curses, right? Al Horford comes here and sucks.
Well, Tom, the other thing you need to know is that he did play for Montverde Academy. He's from Maine, but he played high school basketball in Montverde Academy.
Right
So that's
down
a
here.
pretty that's not really being from Maine. He wasn't he played his AAU ball in Maine, but he played high school basketball in Montverde Academy. That's like the mecca of high school basketball.
Oh, I'm
like,
back.
yeah, like he's
I'm
played
back.
down here.
I thought we had a guy that played against a bunch of
no
guys.
AAU ball.
in
He
public
played.
schools in Maine, and I'm
No,
like,
no.
That's AAU. He played
He
AAU
played down
in
here in
Maine.
Florida.
that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care about.
Yeah,
I care about where he's playing his high school ball at.
he played Montverde Academy, which is the mecca of of high school basketball.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. We're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
But so did Ben. So who knows?
Oh shit.
Bro,
Oh, my God.
Embiid scored
I'm out.
70 less than a year ago. I just thought about that the other day.
Yeah.
Random thought, but he had 70 points less than a year ago, and look where we're at now. It's just crazy. And the Eagles are doing the opposite of what they did last year at this time. We were rolling last year, and then but this year we started off slow, and now we're rolling towards the end. That's not the end. We're kind of still in the middle, but we're rolling. Like the beginning was shaky. We were kind of like, I don't know how this is going to look. I mean, we got no Brown, no Smith. We're playing the Bucks. We're losing by 15, and now we're rolling. 7 in a row if we win Sunday night.
Yeah.
When we win Sunday night.
Coming.
Don, I like your vision. I like Cooper DeJean and Cooper Rush on a magazine. That'd be fun. I like that. I like your vision.
Cooper Rush. Don't we want Cooper Flag? No one wants Cooper Rush.
Yeah, I was assuming he was talking about Flag.
I don't want that ginger. He stinks.
Yeah, he's not good.
Come on, Don. Be better. That's on you, Don.
Oh, you could really sell your kid to be able to play at the next level with that. You know.
Yeah, make millions of
Yeah.
dollars.
With
sit out.
DeJean, and then I get a DeJean
You
playing
get an NFL guy and an NBA guy.
and an NBA
Oh.
guy, and I'm like, yeah, you can play at this level.
And both these kids from
go to
Rutgers are
Maine.
really good too.
Just go to
Yeah,
Go
my
to
buddy
Maine
just
for a few-
transferred out of there.
Oh yeah,
Simpson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's over at St. Joe's now.
Joe's on Hawk Hill.
Because he
What's
saw.
he, a
I mean, he just
junior?
knew. Yeah,
Is he
he's
a
a junior. Yeah,
and Wagner went with Coach Cal. I found out a few weeks ago. I
To
didn't
Arkansas?
realize that. Yeah, he
I
left
didn't realize
Kentucky
that
too.
either.
I didn't say it. I didn't realize that.
Name of the game. All right, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Great show, everybody. We love you. Go Birds. Sixers. Find the way Friday night, babe. Find the way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Don't let Kitty Cat come in here and get you.
We're
Kitty
made
Cat
for this. Hashtag it.
Yeah, Kitty Cat might come in and bend you over. Let's not
Capture
do
the
that.
flag.
Get rid of
night.
Kate Scott.
Yeah.
Get rid of Jim Lynam. Get rid of Dick Nurse. Get rid of Joel Embiid. Get rid of it all. It's a mess.
Clean
All right, so-
house.
Get
We're
rid of
out.